start to cry. I'm sure it's almost start. Okay, we start it. Oh, but FIFA na idea no go ba.
FIFA na idea. One chance you know mo.
Abo for no mo bia. Se bia se nyina we na nyimo.
Se bia se nyina.
Apoy na junior follow me. I'm friend Bisa.
Andes.
Andes. That's a no. Baku bi no so ya I'm ask you about. Second round listening.
I'm sure the cry na might be. I'm confused, bro. I'm not sure how you do. No, me person we stream it.
Okay.
And then maybe promo the FC promo the him.
Because in this tournament, you have a lower age restriction than some of the other titles.
So, he's just turned 17, so he's one of the youngest players in the competition. Masada, I think, is 18 himself. But it's just that raw ability that they both have. The new kind of evolution of SC players where they're just fast down the middle. You can't sell them.
Imagine being 17. You're in high school and you're winning this prize money. Let's take a look at some of the dollars on the line. Walk me through the paychecks that we expect to be handing out at the end of Sunday. Well, I mean, there's some players there who've already gotten won money like this. I mean, this is the views of the World Championships. Best prize for just over $1 million and combined. The one that we're looking at is the millions.
Do I have to split that with my coach? Because I don't have any teammates. I feel like that is a huge paycheck.
It depends on the negotiation. One man we haven't mentioned, by the way, he's been flirting retirement a little bit, is the Iceman Nicholas.
He's not allowed.
He is for me one of the goats of the scene, and he has said at points, you know, if he is to walk away with a title like this, he will retire, he will call it a day. You don't blame him because you've seen the prize pool. But a player that we can't back against, and surely Shells, he's got to be pretty much nailed on to get in that bracket of top 8.
The scariest thing about this competition, there's a few players here that can, whoever wins it, it might overtake and become the #1 GOAT. And I think for Nicholas, he's been at every single World Cup Grand Finals for the last 7-6 years. He's maybe missing this trophy in his collection. If he wins this one, you can't really argue. And same with Anders, Dasari, Manu Bachor, you just can't argue with these people if all of them win the trophy. I can't wait to find out who won it.
Yeah, this is the biggest trophy around. I mean, we're super excited to be here. It's going to be an amazing few days of action. I don't know how to call it. I don't know if the viewers watching at home know how to call it. I don't know if you know how to call it, but one thing's for certain, we're going to get action.
Absolutely going to see action today. Chat, let us know, who do you think is going deep? I think all the top dogs are the favorites. You guys called out a few dark horses or underdogs. Is there a player or a team, though, that is on a heater recently? If you're looking at the last 60 days of action, who's been running up online and, of course, on land?
I mean, Kasia is the player that made it through the play-ins, and through his online performances, he went undefeated in a couple online qualifiers. So he has the form, and I think making it through the play-ins, you know, speaking about Neat as well, Ilian, you have the momentum where you kind of, it's not that they didn't expect to be here, but now they're here. It's like, why not try to go one step further? So I think for them, the pressure's off. For anything, and I'll say Alfie Redlack, the only UK player. He might have been quiet, but I think he's got a point to prove to the UK scene and the rest of the scene. So I think there's going to be a few quiet people that's going to show their skill.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for introducing me to your community and welcoming onto the stage. We're about to kick things off. We are going into the first 6 games here of FC Pro from EWC.
Times though, he is ridiculous. Speaking of Manu Bachor, here he is now, Claudio Pina. Speaking of some of these going well, it's Umit because he's leading 3-0 in this game, sure.
What did I say before, Brandon? It's just these triggered runs in through centre midfield. They're so difficult to defend.
I've even scoring a single goal against Umit.
Watch Umit's runs here. Very good defending from Manu. Manu's going to look to hold this last attack here, Brandon. I would say you do not want to go in half-time 4-0 down. Obviously, Alex, thanks for that.
Claudio Pina, there's one.
And he's done the opposite.
That's what Emre Yilmaz does. Is Umit. 5-2, he leads now against Manu.
See the ball whipped in again. He's actually decided to bring the keeper out.
It was inevitable that was going to the back of the net. The goalkeeper comes out.
What is to be the start of 5 days of the AFC 26 action, the biggest ticket of the season, the biggest moment for a lot of these players in their careers. He knows it only too well. Manu Bashore, a two-time world champion, one of the only players to do that in this scene, in this last decade. What a talent, what a final it was last year in Saudi Arabia. Now we're here in Paris. Brandon Smith and Jaime Alvarez, you'll know him as Gravis. And Grav, this is the start of these players' journeys across the next 5 days.
This is the big one for them because, of course, we've had a beautiful season. Started with the FC Pro, jumping into the regular season as well with the leagues and stuff. Then we ended up things with the Champions League, but everything has come down to this. Just 5 days of FC 26 to crown the world champion. And I'm buzzing, Brandon, because I can see so many storylines. I can see Manu being a back-to-back champion and making it 3 times winning this title. I could see Anders becoming a 2-time world champion as well. Or we could see Nicolas finally cementing himself as the champion of the world. And with that, maybe retirement from him, we don't know. But it's going to be 5 exciting days ahead of us.
Well, look, there's 36 players playing in a world championship. That is unheard of. We have never had that many players in a tournament like this with over $1 million on the line. And you look at the list of players, we are rolling back through the years. MS Dasari turns up to his first World Championships, 2019. Umit, since he won it in 2022, is back at a World Championship for the first time ever. You got Anders Vergang, 2024 World Champion, the Esports World Cup champion in Jafonzo in 2024 also. The 2-time World Champion Manu Bashore, the list goes on. There's one man that hasn't won the World Championship yet as well. His name is Nicolas99. He's playing in his 9th world title, and I believe matches are already underway. If we can jump to some games if possible. We've got 6 games underway at the same time, Grav. There is so much FC to keep our eyes on here. I mean, where are you looking? You've got RVP Legend against Nicolas99. You've got Schmork against Jafonzo. Karim is back against the defending world champion in Manu Bashore. And that's just half of the games to talk about.
Yes, we have Luke against Hessers as well. We have T. Fernandez against Levy, and we have Virgil against Nazara. So it will be 6 brilliant FC 26 games, and it seems we're underway, Brandon.
Here we go. Strap yourselves in for what is just day one of the action. 3 days, by the way, of this new league phase format. You may be accustomed to, if you're not familiar with the format for this year's FC Pro World Championships. Of course, it's being hosted here at the Esports World Cup in Paris. There's 36 players competing. They're playing in a league phase as this first chance of the game comes in. Casillas has had a lot of hype about him. I've got no idea how he's just saved that one to stop Manu Bashore, leading by a goal to nil. But 36 players competing. The top 24 will go through to the knockouts. The top 16 will also go through to the knockouts. The top 8 on that will skip around. And if you finish 25th to 36, unfortunately, that is the end of the row. That is going to be on Friday night, Grav, if I'm correct on saying that. You've got 3 days, grueling days of action. What, is it 2 matches per day? So you've got the chance to really, I guess, take it day by day, haven't you? You play 2 games a day. If it doesn't go well on day 1 today, you've still got 2 days to try and fix it.
It is, definitely. And I do feel like, as we watch the replay of this Nicolas against RBP Legend, the first goal is called by the Romanian. We jump back to this Karim against Manu match. I do feel like for the players that maybe need a few matches to turn up, this might be a format that doesn't benefit them. But for the players that can really have the momentum to play a couple of games and then rest and then go at it again the following day, it's going to be a huge format for them. So I would say the latter of them would be the oldest players, such as Nicolas, and maybe the youngsters who are accustomed to playing maybe 5 to 6 rounds a day. It might be tough for them. As we see, the first goal of this match scored by Manu Bashore. It was a finesse by Ousmane Dembele. It's 1-0.
Well, it would be the world champion, wouldn't it? But it kicks off his FC Pro World Championships just how we ended the season last year. Over $800,000 in prize earning. And still you sit here and he doesn't always get the respect he deserves, which sounds so crazy because you've got someone who goes by the name of Anders Vergang, who's #1 ranked in the world, and he has won every single tournament this year.
Every single one of them.
But he hasn't won a World Championship twice, has he? There's another update. It's Jafonzo, Manchester City Esports 2024 Esports World Cup champion, leading by a goal to nil. I mean, what needs to shift there for Manu to maybe have a bit more respect to his name?
It might be, I mean, if he's
another World Championship,
if he's able to win another one, that will be just 3 World Championships, which would cement him, in my opinion, as the GOAT of this esport, which, in my opinion, he already is. I mean, he's the only player of the history of FC since we've been competing under Ultimate Team, because I don't want to take it away from Bruce Granek and Alfonso Ramos. But under this new format, he's the only guy that did it twice. So in my books, he's the GOAT. But 3 times, that'll be too much, Brandon.
You just saw Luc Weideveld there playing in his first ever FC Pro World Championships. It is worth noting that 12 of the 36 players are playing in their first ever World Championship. Regardless of the result that happens there, Grav, you've had the taste of being there. Unfortunately, the year you got there as well, it was cancelled. But still, how does it feel for these players to just know that you are amongst the best 36 in the world? All the hard work this season, no matter you got there via an FC Pro Partner League or maybe the FC Pro Open, you're there and you're counted as part of the best in the world.
I feel like when you're here, as we just see the goal scored by Jude Bellingham, this 98 rated item is going to be a nightmare for his opponents, and it's 2-0 for Manu Bashore. But replying to your question, I feel like every single player in here, the 36 of them, their confidence is going to be so high, because it is really hard to qualify for a World Championship. I did it just once in my career, and for example, Nit, a player that we've commentated over 6 years now. He's dominated Spain, we've seen him in the ECL, we've seen him at Champions Cups, and it's the first time qualifying for a World Championship. So it just shows how tough it is for you. So your confidence has to be so high up.
And some credit where it's due as well to those involved behind the scenes with the FC Pro competition format this year, as Steve Fernandez leads against Levy Devin. 10 players put their ticket through the play-ins. That is unheard of. Previously there was 8, there was 4 before that. I think there was 4 last year, there was 8 the year before when Anders Vergang became world champion. But 10 spots for players to still have the chance to get there, Grav, is a lot of tickets.
It's a lot, but you had to push a lot, because you had to push throughout the whole weekend of LCQ and play-ins, and you had to win so many matches but they were able to do it. So not only that, but because some players qualified in the FC Pro format, and that was 6 months ago. Another ones qualified through the league stage.
Manu! 3-0 he leads. The world champion is looking quite like a world champion at the moment, isn't he? What a start in round one he's having.
Wow, it just seems like this man, when he turns up at the World Championship, he's unstoppable. I mean, 3 goals in just 15 minutes, Brandon.
One player we saw score as well briefly in the replay. First time at a World Championships, Nasada. I had the pleasure of watching him in the Club Championship and the Virtual Bundesliga 1v1 individual season. One thing we've become accustomed to with him this season is that he loves the 4-4-2. Maybe not anymore, but he will score goals. And as it stands, he's actually 2-2 against Nasada, but it's only been 25 minutes in that game. I will just give an update as well to people at home that are trying to follow what is going on. There are 36 players competing as another update comes through here. That's Nicholas against RVP Legend. The 6 games that are currently underway right now are as follows. You've got Luke Weideveld against Hezers, Jafonzo against Schmalk, Di Fernandez, Levi David, Virgil Nasada, RVP Legend against Nicholas. And this game here, Manu Bashore against Karim is back. If you are following a certain individual player, I can see the chat in front of me right now. Let us know who you are supporting across the next 3 days. There's a lot of FC to get through, Grav, and there's going to be a lot of goals that are going across the next 3 days as we see Virgil's equaliser there.
It is a good goal for him, and we are going to see so many goals in here, Brandon. It's 6 matches at a time, and at this point of the game, with 4 and 5 play styles and the way those stats are working, they're going to be unstoppable in the offense. So we will see matches like this, as Manu Bashore scoring 3 goals in 20 minutes. And we will see, in my opinion, the offense prevailing against the defense of these teams. I would like to mention how both these players played against each other in the Iligan final, and Karim is back. Won the game, it was 2-1, that make it 3-1 in the final, because it was a best of 7 format. So it could be the revenge that Manu was looking for these past 2 months.
Well, I had the chance to look at previous matches coming up to this game as well, first round. There's only 2 players in this first round of games that have never played a competitive game against each other, as we see Nicholas tie the game up at 2-2 against RVP Legends. The only 2 games in this round, Di Fernandez, Levi David have never played before in a competitive game. They meet for the first time in the World Championships, and Jafonzo against Schmalk. But I mean, that's probably rightly so, because Schmalk came from nowhere. I mean, I spoke to him before the East Serie A finals in Napoli, and he said, look, a few months ago I was thinking of jacking it all in. Next thing you know, he's at the World Championships.
That's the thing with the game right now. I mean, if you're good enough, it could take you just the chance of participating at a league, which is not easy. But if you get the chance to play at La Liga, at Italy, the Iligan, at the Premier League, you could make it into a World Championship. Wow,
Salma. Ho, ho, ho. There's going to be a lot of talk about her across the next 5 days. The Barcelona winger, Salma, once again. I mean, she was the hero in the last chance qualifier, wasn't she? We saw in the play-ins, and there's no surprise that a lot of the players that are already in the World Championships, Grav, that looked around what was being used in Paris just over a week ago. And why wouldn't you put half the players in the team, such as Nazareth in there as well? Kika Nazareth, she'll be leading the line for a lot of players. Spoke to Anders Vergang yesterday, and Manu Bashore, they're both in agreement that that is the striker to use as he scores another
one.
And he is 4-1 up now.
It's just the combination of the body type, the accelerate type, the play styles, and the stats. I mean, she's just the total package. Why wouldn't you use her when she's arguably the best winger in the game?
My question for you, Grav, is we're at an interesting stage of the year. We're seeing a lot of hype about FC27 already, the front covers, the potential trailers, of course, in the next coming days, and everyone's getting really excited. For these players here, how hard is it knowing that the last event that we were at, E-Champions League in Budapest, end of May, it's nearly about, what, 6 weeks or so that a lot of these players haven't played. Does it favour someone who's come through the last chance qualifier of playing like Oberon as we saw last year, Manu Bashore came through the play-ins, won the World Championships. Those players have had that little bit more time to play here in Paris and come accustomed to it.
I do think it's easier for the players that qualify through the LCQ and play-ins, such as you mentioned, Obrun, which, I mean, he was part of the commentators' booth in the ECL, he did an amazing job, Obrun, and then 2 months later, he's in here playing, qualifying, and he could be the world champion, without a doubt. So I do think it benefits them, because even though you can get the practice, and practice is important, and you can play foot champs, and you can play friendlies, and you can even play pro clubs, same as Richard Buckley, it's not the same as getting in here and getting into the competition. And I mean, those LCQ matches, they're ruthless, as we just see the replay with the analog sprinting coming in from Nicolas to make it 3-2 against RBP Legend.
9 World Championships in a row from Nicolas. It is just ridiculous, isn't it? The level of consistency we've seen. Right, here's an update. They've never played before, and Di Fernandez was leading his 3-2. Levy has got one back. We heard from Renzo at the top of the show how important this is for Team Liquid, and more so Team Falcons, the 2-time club championship winners. There are more points and more prizes and a lot of prize money involved in the Esports World Cup Club Championships. Of course, there are titles across these 7 weeks in Paris. Each of them allow a selection of points to be won. That goes onto a leaderboard. And for esports teams competing in multiple games, Manu probably should have been 5-1 up by the break. There's a lot of extra prize money on the line. Well, as we close out the first half with the final kick of possession, what have you made of Manu so far? I mean, looks pretty simple and very convincing from him.
It just feels like a throwback to FC 25 in a way, in which Manu Bashore, even though he played well throughout the whole season, don't get me wrong, he's a completely different player in here in the World Championship. I feel like he has the rhythm. It's really tough to attack against him because he's so good with the player switching, and then when he's building up from the back, he doesn't lose the ball. And he scores so many goals. It really seems like he's the complete package.
What do you think separates the standard player from a world champion? I mean, Jesus, people sort of underestimate a little bit. I think maybe Italy. This is the first time ever in this esport that there's been this many Italians, by the way. This is German levels of Italy. If you don't know what we mean by that, back in the days of what? I want to say 2019, 2020, 2016, 2017, it was Germany that made up the most in terms of competitors at World Championships. This year, mainly because Matías Pinano has become Italian, as we've seen in the last couple of weeks with the E-Nations Cup around the corner. There are 8 Italians here. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And that's a good comparison to Germany back in the days.
And the reason for that, Grab, I guess, is what? Serie A has been good to a few of them. The FC Pro Open with Danny Pitbull and Jesus has been great there, but also Obrun coming through on the last chance qualifier.
It feels like they did it all throughout the whole season. I mean, it was FC Pro, as you mentioned, it was DCL, it was everything really. So I do feel like back in the days you would probably think, as we just see, another goal scored by Levy with the analog sprinting as well. I do feel like Spain and Italy were in a similar situation in which they had good players, but they weren't cementing themselves as the best players in the world. And Spain has kind of crumbled under pressure. I mean, we do have need, but that's just it. And Italy has just gone the other way around, which is something that I would say I'm really happy.
Extra pass, doesn't need it, he's offside. Right. I mean, that's what I wanted to speak to you about. I mean, shame for Tex not to be here. Of course, he misses out on a penalty shootout, but for Spain, I mean, you know better than anyone, Graham, it's been a little bit of time before we've seen someone from Spain pull through and give us a really big performance in the World Championships.
I don't know when that was I mean, I'm thinking about JRA back in 2023. I mean, he did good, but it was just round of 16, which isn't good enough, to be fair. If we're talking about semi-finals, quarterfinals, or final, it's been a long, long time coming. So maybe it's chance of making it into a final and making his country proud. But if I'm honest, it is going to be difficult.
Absolutely. Well, look, updates around the ground. Tezza's 4-1 up in this game. Schmalk, 3-2 he leads against Jafonzo. Nasada, 4-2 up against Virgil. Nicholas starting to turn the tides, I should say. 5-2 he leads in his game. And our featured game, which we will get back to shortly, it is Manu 4, Karim is back 2.
Wow.
As it stands so far in this game.
We have a comeback. I will say I'm a big fan of Hezers and the way he plays. And of course, with the introduction of Juanma and Fer as his coaches, it seems like we're seeing a completely different Hezers.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously Fer, the coach of Nicholas, and Juanma, who is normally there in support, they've got a bit of a reverse roles, haven't they? Because both players are in the same competition. Juanma coaching Hezers, and Fer back to coaching Nicholas across these next few days. Right, more updates there. Schmalk's looking very much at home.
Yes.
Is that a handshake or fist bump? I'm not too sure. Does it matter? He's leading 4-2.
I didn't expect him to beat Jafonso, and he seems to be playing good at the moment. Of course, we've not seen enough to kind of break it down, but it is a good result from him. Oh, big mistake. Building up from the back, and this is something that you simply cannot afford to do at the World Championship. And it's gold galore everywhere, Brandon.
Manu 5, Karim 2. And I mean, it's great to see, which he should do. 9 of the 10 players in the world rankings here at the moment are in the World Championships. Of course, Gibaros just missing out in that last chance qualifier. The lowest ranked player in the competition on the world rankings is 108th, Milka Love. I know Richard Buckley expects big things of him across the next 5 days, but why not? You're in the room, you're in the conversation.
You are here.
Just get in the top 24.
I would say you only need 2 wins. I mean, we can have the conversation about what's going to be the minimum amount of points that you need for the top 24. I do feel like after what we saw in the ECL, 6 points with good goal difference should be enough. Maybe 7 points, I don't know. But, I mean, Richard is always a big fan of those dark horses. So let's see how Milka Love does. Wow. Oh. Brilliant use of technical by Virgil over there. Just when we thought it was going to be analog sprinting all day, see that goal with the technical being used. Amazing goal. I
mean, chat, you tell us, who do you back to win the World Championships this week here in Paris? Let's hear your comments coming through. I know you might be used to a Mystery Nation, but as far as I'm aware, there is no Mystery Nation across these next few days. This is the FC Pro World Championship, the biggest tournament of the season.
Yo.
There are technically 3 parts to this first round. Nasada, 5-4 up.
What a match.
What a game that one is. I mean, it's hard to know where to look here, Grav. Nicholas is still leading 5-2. Schmalk is 6-2 up now.
Wow.
Against Jafonzo. And Hezers is cruising by the looks of it. As there's a big chance here. That's going to be an offside.
That's the thing with Salma, the accelerate type, of course, lengthy. You got to be so precise when your player is switching, and you got to do it 1 second prior to it happening, because if not, she's just going to score goals. I mean, it's going to be an easy 1v1. We just see this. No, it doesn't make the best of it. And I will say, I'm a big fan of the way Manu builds up in the World Championships, at least last year and this year. I feel like he's really good, and this might be the best game of the first round that we've seen from Virgil and Nasada. Different play styles, but loads of goals, and both of them are playing really good, both on the offense and defense as well. On the pause coming in, maybe we can catch our breath, Brandon, because, I mean, how many goals we've seen so far?
I don't want to be on the counter, because it's going to certainly get out of hand, isn't it, across the next couple of rounds. Nasada just about pulling away. RVP legend looking to start to bring a comeback. Well, the chat want to see Nasada in action, so could we go and check into Nasada if possible? Nasada Virgil. 78 minutes on the clock in that game. As it currently stands, you spoke, we listen.
I would say this is the best match we've seen from round one. We just see the player lock coming into Dembele, scored! This might be it, this might be.
Is that the gap now?
Seems like it might be too much for Virgil. What a player lock coming in to Dembele and the low driven to make it 6-4 and maybe the final nail in the coffin.
Well, let's speak about the games that are coming up as well. As we said, each round is broken into 3 because there's just that many players here. 6 games at a time, 12 players in action. And looking here at the next round of action coming up. There are some big games in there, especially, as we said, Adida against Samu Gamer, Redlat taking on Anders Vergang. Bonanno against Katja Oberon, the only player that came through the last chance qualifier, then he made it into the play-ins. He plays against Milka Love, the lowest ranked player in the world rankings. Danny Pitbull, who, believe it or not, grabs the oldest player in the competition at 28 years of age. Jafonzo has pulled a goal back there. And Pietjin against Levi Finn. Those are the next 6 games coming up on the second part of this first round. Is there a comeback here?
It could happen. We did see a really poor offside trap coming in from Jafonso, which allowed Smog to make it 4-6, and we didn't see an offside trap coming in from Smog. And because of that, he was punished. And Jafonso scored the 5th goal, so this might be it. Claudia Pina, no. Pacho gets the ball back, but Shalanoglu gets it again, and it seems like Jafonso might be on his way to equalizing this game. Because at the moment, Smog seems... Yes, he's lost the whole control of the match so far. Lukebakio looking for the finesse, saved. You can see Smog's not happy with the way he's controlling the game at the moment. Maybe he could change to the 4-5-1, maybe the 4-1-4-1, because at the moment the 4-4-1-1 with the cam, it seemed like it's end-to-end FC, and that's not what he's looking for at the moment.
82 minutes on the clock. Jafonzo building now. Can he find an equaliser? Yes! He can!
Experience plays a huge factor in here at the FC Pro World Championships. And of course, we have the EWSC 24 champion Jafonso, and even though he's not playing a great match, he's playing really good at the moment for the last 20 minutes. On the other side, Smolk, first FC Pro World Championship, you could definitely see the nerves kicking in.
Can confirm as well, there is going to be a Mystery Nation for the next couple of days here at the FC Pro World Championships. That was the equaliser you just saw again to make it 6-6. And I believe 3 players in this competition are representing that Mystery Nation country. Now, if you know your players and you know your stats, can confirm it's not Italy, though. There's 8 players representing Italy in this year's FC Pro World Championships. What a game.
You can see the frustration coming in from Small, because I feel like the tackle was quick enough, but the animation didn't start, so...
I mean, we missed the 7th goal, sorry, of Schmork. A blink, then Jafondo's made it 7-all. Have we got some full times on the board yet? I believe we don't, just as of yet that I can see. We've got a 7-7 game here. We've got Manu 5-3 up still in his game. We've got Nasada 7-5 up against Virgil. Nicholas only 5-4 up now against RVP Legend Grab. That one is, the tables are turning in that game. But let's stay with this one now. Who is going to snatch potentially a huge win in their opening game of the FC Pro World Championships? Peter! Schmaltz on his feet.
Wow.
Claudia Pina, of all goal scorers, to potentially pick up a huge first 3 points in your first ever World Championship.
It was the best attack at the most important moment with the croqueta finesse, but now, last kick of the game for Jafonso.
Don't count him out yet. Player lock. Can Adam Walton find the pass? Musiala just defend. Finesse! Saved corner.
Last 20 in-game seconds for Jafonzo to roll the dice. Foul.
Banger.
We've played the time grab. What do you do from this moment?
Do you crush it? Do you play short? He plays it short.
Luca Bacchio. Adam Wharton. Musiala! Oh, game over.
Wow.
3 points on the board for one of the 8 Italians that are here. His World Championship is off the mark, and so is the world champion Manu. He just closed out his game, 5 goals to 3. Nasada, first win for him in the tournament, 7 goals to 5. And we've got what I can see is 3 games still underway, including this one. Is there a comeback on the cards for RVP legend? Maybe there is.
There's a reason why Iker Casillas is the most picked player at the moment, and I mean, he saved every single one of those.
Dembele again. I mean, look, we are seeing finesse after finesse so much. We might even have to hear the on the finesse commentary come back across the next 5 days. That is the way that most of these players will be scoring, and it's such a simple method of scoring, but it's just the angles that your midfielders can give you, especially that man there, Jude Bellingham.
Wow. I mean, I feel like he's a must. You must start him as a center midfielder because he's quick, he has the right play styles, he's 98 rated as well. That's the goal from Di Fernandez to make it 6-7, so Levy not done yet.
You are just referring to the scoreline there, right?
Yes.
Not the...
Pass coming in, arguably from Nico. And Nico, historically, he doesn't start well World Championships. On day 1, day 2, he usually suffers, Brandon.
I don't know if you can remember back in 2023 when Manu Bashir became world champion, the first time we were in Saudi Arabia for a World Championships. He was in the same group as Anders Vergang, Manu Bashir. He didn't make it out that group. He always has a difficult group run. I mean, one positive he'll have is that he's not in a group, but he is in a league phase.
It is true. It is true. I mean, back in 2022, even though he made it into the final, that day 1 was catastrophic for him. He lost every single match. So I feel like it's really important for him to get a win just to kick the ghosts away.
Let's also not forget as well that Anders Vergang was eliminated in the group stages last year as well. Obviously, that's a very different format this year, but Fekir, who was the lowest ranked player from Morocco, I mean, proved that anything can happen. I know he did lose in the following round, but he still knocked him out.
Anything can happen in here at the FC26 Pro World Championship, and I'm curious to see how some players are going to perform. I mean, I do want to see Ilian Bushi today because he's been grinding for the last 3-4 years and he finally made it. One of the few players that qualified for the first time in here. Paris.
In the first ever time they've matched up here, Graf, 14 goals in it so far. Levy was actually trailing in this game a couple of occasions. What a turnaround from him. I mean, showing the pedigree that we know from the Dutch player of Team Liquid. Added time, just a minute to follow. Di Fernandez, if he gets it, probably will be nothing more than a consolation. That looks like Team Liquid are going to be off the mark in the right grain of form. Manu with a win, and Levy with near enough an exclamation mark result.
Great win for Levy.
8-6 over here. We go at the right time. RVP Legends has just tied up 5-5 with the Iceman.
We just see Nicolas, who knows it's time to turn up, because after leading the whole game, he cannot afford to drop points in here. Last kick of the game for him.
Remember, this is the league phase. There are draws. There's not an extra time situation. It's the top 24 you need to be in out of the best 36 that are here at the World Championships. Is Nicolas about to show there's ice in those veins? Yes! The Iceman! Cool, calm and
But RVP legend, it goes back to you. Surely not, Graf. Or maybe so. Dembele!
What's going on in here?
Welcome to the biggest stage of the season. Nobody is safe. 6-6. They'll share a point. They'll celebrate the point. And that is just a starter of what is to come today. Nicola 6, RVP Legend 6. Wow, that is round one done. Or part of round one done, I should say, here in Paris. We're off for a quick brief. When we get back, the games continue. Wow.
Brandon Smith here alongside 3 of our FC Pro finalists here at the World Championships of Esports World Cup. Smork, Paolo Neto, PH In. How are we all?
Oh, good. Fine.
Good. You're good at the moment, right?
Yeah.
But in a few days' time, you might not be so good. But you might be really happy because you might be a world champion, potentially so. Guys, we are here to test your knowledge on EAFC 26 items, especially off the back of one of the biggest football tournaments in the world. There's been a lot of promo items, of course. Very simple, the way this game is going to work. You simply got to tap the buzzer. It's going to make this noise. And then you've got to guess. Let's kick off with round one of Guess the FC 26 item. Here we go then. Right, we're kicking off. What design is that? What promo is it?
The World Cup one.
It's the Star
Performer.
The Star Performer,
Okay.
all right? He's got 92 dribbling. Can we show a little bit more, if that's okay? Right, from here, any guesses? Remember, you've got to hit the buzzer if you want to have a guess. We'll show a little bit more if we can.
No way.
Paolo Neto.
Haaland.
It is Erling Haaland. We'll show you the first few hints. Who is that?
No. I have no clue.
Harry Kane?
Is it Harry Kane? It is Harry Kane. Paolo Neto is flying. Right, here we go. Next one. Still the same item design. We'll give you another.
Messi.
Is it Lionel Messi? No, it's not.
Oh. Dembele?
Oh, no. The dictator, Mbappe.
It is Kylian Mbappe. Still the star performer. We'll have a few more stats. He didn't even know it is, does he?
I don't know.
7.
Maybe Saka?
It's not Bukayo Saka. A little bit more.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT.
Any more?
Messi.
Messi. A few more stats, please.
Oh.
I'm going to leave that to Smork.
Yeah.
Wait, is it Dembele?
It's not Dembele.
Oh.
We'll have a next round of clues and someone's going to get on it.
No, Paulo Neto.
Oh, Lamine
Yamal. Let's have some stats. It's a goalkeeper.
Oh.
Who's the goalkeeper?
No, you.
Courtois?
No.
Go, go!
No. If you want, you're free to go now.
Alisson.
It's him.
Alisson. This is where it gets really tricky. I'll be honest, I don't even know who this one is.
Impossible.
Silva.
More.
I think we need more stats.
More.
We need a bit more. Right, we'll stop there.
This is Bobby Sheldrup.
I want to say. No, 2 guesses. Bob Sheldrup.
No, Sheldrup. Let's go.
Sorry.
Let's go. I'm smart.
Scores on the doors.
He was.
How many points did you get, Smork? 1, 2, and our winner. Give him a round of applause. Paolo Neto. I mean, he knows his stuff about Ultimate Team. Will he know his stuff on the pitch in the FC Pro World Championships?
Let's see there, but can I get an advantage because I won the game?
You what?
An advantage?
An advantage? What, a better group? Or a better seeding?
No, extra points.
No, we can't do that, unfortunately. Anyway, that was the FC26 Ultimate Team quiz with these 3 legends. Good luck, of course, in the competition this week.
Thank you.
It's certainly going to be heating up here in Paris.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by Play.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
We just witnessed an epic start to our show. An excellent commentary, by the way. I understand why he won Commentator of the Year 2 years ago. Shout out to my man, Brandon. In the meantime, we got to discuss everything we just witnessed because we had several games start off with 5-2 scores. One of them ended with a draw. But if you're Team Liquid, I feel like you won this opening hour of action. Both of your players walking away with 3 points each. Gentlemen, what are you most proud of? What you witnessed here in the opening hour?
I mean, I have to touch straight away on that game with Jafonso. That is a huge game. A fantastic result, of course, for the Manny face. But, I mean, from a Jafonso perspective, we'll come to it in a little bit. But he missed chances in that game. There was a lot of goals. That was typical FC. That is FC at its best because throughout this week, we are going to see so many goals. We can look at the results.
Is Smolk going to be the problem for some of these big names?
Well, listen, we didn't really give him much of a chance, to be fair, at the start of it. But you saw how much it meant to him, Shells. And from a Jafonso perspective, he faces Anders Vergang later on in this league stage. But next up for him is his Man City esports teammate, Matti Bonanno. I mean, you could be looking at the prospect if he loses that game to Matti, he could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, of course. I think for Jafonso, the first game against Smoke, disappointing loss, and he had a couple chances. He was trailing a couple goals, brought himself back into the game, and he missed a crazy sit in the 90th minute. So he got a bit unlucky there, but he still has a chance to redeem this.
We've got so many more games to go. Reminder, the bottom 12 will be eliminated at the end of Friday. For now, though, I think both of these gentlemen are probably moving forward. We got Nicholas on the stage with Case, our awesome interviewer.
Right, guys, I'm joined by the Iceman, the man who has competed in the most world champions here. It is Nicholas 99 FC. All right, we have to talk about that first round because it was quite the roller coaster. You were leading the majority. You scored in the 91st minute. He equalized against RVP. How are we feeling? Because it was quite the heart-wrenching match.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, but I have to say this game is so bad. It's all about momentums and stuff. I was winning 5-2, so easy, but then I couldn't move. No about connection or something, just momentum. But then when he equalized, was a kick off my side, kick off on his side, and yeah, that's it.
All right, well, next round is up against Manu Bashore, reigning world champion. What is your mindset going into that one?
I mean, yeah, it will be tough. You know, this kind of competition and also with this new format, it's tough. But yeah, the good thing is it's like a step by step, so let's see.
Now, you've won trophies all throughout the world, different leagues, but this is one of those competitions that you haven't gotten in the bag yet. How important is being a world champion to you, winning this week?
I mean, the thing is like, maybe you could be like the #1 in the ranking and stuff, but unfortunately, it's all about success for the people. And yeah, be a world champion that means you are the best player. So that could be great for me. But yeah, as I say, it's a step by step. This is my 9th World Championship, so I think at least there is less pressure maybe because I try many times. But yeah, let's see. I think I deserve it, but you need to go and win it.
All right, well, we'll have to see if you're able to lock that one in. Next match is up against Mono, so I'm looking forward to that one. I will let you get back to those preparations. Sending it back to you guys.
Awesome stuff, Case. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the draw from RVP, down 5-2. He was able to tie it at 6-6. Gentlemen, Nicholas said he's been at 9 world championships. Has he ever raised the trophy?
Nah.
Do you think it's because he's blaming the game instead of revisiting how he lost a 5-2 lead?
Look, I mean, I think we're watching a player in RVP. I think we should focus on what he did. And
Okay, let's go positive instead of the drama.
Nicholas speaks for himself. He's the Iceman for a reason. He's one of the GOATs of the scene. He's been at 9 World Championships, more than anyone else before.
Without a win.
RVP legend, though, by the way, through the play-ins. You know, he's somebody who's been here for a while now. He's played on this stage. To come back against someone of the stature of Nicholas within the scene, that's massive for him.
Yeah, and even the way how the game unfolded, Nicholas scored in the 90th minute and we thought that was wrapped up. No celebration from Nicholas, no surprise there. And I'm thinking, how is he not reacting at all? RVP goes down the other end and he's equalized. And that's what RVP does best. He scores goals. And when he's in the box with Dembele, shoot, and he managed to get an equalizer there.
Can I give you guys shout outs? Because you told me to look out for the boys from Liquid. Both walk away with 3-point wins. Nasada, who is written down on my card, walks away with the win. I think Hezers was another player you guys called out to win. The big surprise, Smolk walking away with that upset over Nicholas, or did you think this was going to happen? How did you see it playing out?
Smolk, I wouldn't say upset. I was against Jafonzo. I think Jafonzo going into it, you would have confidence. Being a previous world champion, you expect to win that game. And I think first game of the day, anyone can get caught off guard. Sorry.
Yeah.
But Smolk, everyone in this competition can win it, and you can't take anyone lightly. So you got to take one game at a time and see what happens. But disappointing result for Jafonzo.
Yeah, what we're seeing with this league stage that we've just seen on the screen right now, it's going to change. Every single round of fixtures, it's going to change. One thing I will say, we have to give a shout out to Hezers because, you know, we've seen him in clips and we don't say it for a joke. He is genuinely one of the nicest men I think I've ever met. But
Jolly lad.
He's also incredible at this year's game as a whole. He's improved so much. He got so close in a previous competition this year. I'd love to see someone like Hezers do well here. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic player. Great start for him, great result.
And just to confirm, you are going to play 6 matches. We can only play 6 matches on our 2 stages at any one time. So as you mentioned, this leaderboard is going to shake up. Anyone that you expect to be able to go perfect, can anyone in this tournament win all 6 and walk away with 18 points?
There's definitely a few players, but I would say, speaking of previous tournaments, Emre Yilmaz, I'm pretty sure, went undefeated in the first stage of E-Champions League. He didn't win it this year, but he is Mr. Champions League himself. But I think there's a few players that can, but it depends on your fixtures as well, because I'm pretty sure Emre has to take Anders up in one of those rounds, so it's going to be a tough task for him.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the highlights here. There was this game with Nicholas as well, the RVP legend one. I mean, look, to go perfect in this league stage will be fantastic, but the reality is we do play Knockout FC at some point in the week. So the reality is, if you're in an ideal world, what you want to do is you want to try and get in that top 8, get through to the last 16, and hopefully it puts you in really good stead. But I don't personally think anybody is going to go.
Okay.
I want to give
it. Think anybody is going to go perfect.
It's a low odds, right? That's why I asked if there was a favorite to do it. Quick question though, because I saw in the chat, is this a true theory? Defense is a myth. You truly just have to take advantage of every single scoring opportunity.
I do think in the last few years of SC, I think it's gone to an attacking game. I'm a bit of a defensive man myself. I don't like these high-scoring games. I ain't got the heart for it. I'm getting too old. So I think in this new era, you've got to be able to score goals. And I know it's the most cliche thing. The more goals you score, you know, you're going to beat your opponent. But yeah, you got to have these 8-7 games in your lockers, and if you want to be one of the best FC players in the world.
There was an 8-6 finish for Levi, and of course, the celebration from Renzo, who is on our show at the start of things. Multiple coaches, multiple players, and Hezers is definitely going to be one of our players to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, great start for him. A lot of goals for him as well. From a perspective, I mean, that's the perfect start. We've seen him on absolute fire. He's a confidence player. It's a great start for him. I mean, look, we're going to see a lot of goals. There's no 2 ways about it. Whether you're losing heavily, these are 9-minute halves of FC. We're going to see goals for both players.
Yeah, I think for Hezers as well, the big thing for him is he's always been a guy that can score goals, but like I said, this year he's really changed his defensive style, and I think he's got the ability now to really kind of claim the trophy.
After watching our first round of action, let's talk about some of the key features we expect to see in almost every game. Our players are given how much coin to spend?
15 million budget.
Yeah, so you can get some nice pieces on your roster. Who have you seen in almost every roster? I've seen Messi on the field. It looks like a lot of Jude will be played today.
You know what? When you're looking defensively, everyone seems to be using Maldini. There's a lot of players who are using Maldini. I think Anders is the only one who's using Maldini at left back.
Yeah.
That item, I mean, play styles are super important on the game. So each item has separate play styles. Maldini just looks like a dream. He's been absolutely incredible throughout.
Yeah, Maldini as an item. I think the playstyles are the number one important thing in the game. And I think for defenders, you need to have that gold intercept playstyle because that will just help you win the ball back. You see how hard it is to defend already. But with that playstyle as well, but Maldini has, I think, 97, 98 reactions. So he's just able to jockey a bit better on the ball. But it's a playstyle game. You're going to see a different number of items being used across the board.
Well, speaking of some of the greats, Anders is going to be playing here on day number 1. And if you don't know the man who already has 4 world championships or 4 championships this year, he's going for his 5th here at EWC.
Right, guys, I'm joined by Anders Verjking. He's the 2024 World Champion. Anders, I know we've spoken a lot before about how you practice for competitions. Sometimes there's not a lot involved, but tell me about the preparations for this tournament.
Like, obviously, I won the Champions League, and now I had 2 months, like, off, so, I mean, I practiced a bit. Like, I would say I started, like, almost a month ago, so I think it has been pretty good, and obviously I take some days off, but I practice most of the days. But as you said, like, I would say I'm pretty different to the other players that don't practice as much, and I don't practice maybe as serious as the others. So I'm, like, confident in the way I prepare, and I'm pretty sure that I will be ready for this tournament.
All right, let's talk more about your entire season as a whole, because you went 4 for 4, 4 championships in 4 different leagues. Can we make it 5? How important is this 5th trophy for the season for you?
I mean, obviously this was the most important one, and if I would win this one, it would be the best season ever. I think even if I doesn't win, it would still be, but of course it would, like, confirm it for sure, and I want to win every tournament I play in, and I also know that all the other players knows I'm the best, and they all see me as the favorite. So I'm pretty sure that if I'm gonna play well, I'm also gonna win. But, like, even though you're the favorite, it doesn't mean you're gonna win. So of course I have to take every game very serious. But it's a 5 days, like, tournament. We have 3 days of group stage. It's not like in these 3 days where you have to be at your best. So even if I would lose or draw some games, I wouldn't be that surprised because I know that it's like in the weekend I have to peak.
Well, let's talk about one of those games specifically. You are going up against Emre Yilmaz. Not many players give you trouble. Emre is one of those players. We know he's playing at his top level. Not many players give you trouble. Emre is one of those players. We know he's playing at his top level as well. Tell me how you're feeling about that matchup, because it is your last match in the league phase.
I mean, he used to give me, like, troubles in group stage. In finals, not so much. So I'm pretty, like, I don't know how to say, like, I don't really think too much about this game. Like, as you said, like, it's a group stage game. It's, like, not the end of the world if you lose. Of course you want to win, but it would be different if it's in the weekend we're gonna play. So of course I want to win, but it's always the same. Like, he's better in group stage, I'm worse in group stage. I'm better in knockout, he's worse in knockout. So I wouldn't be too surprised if I'm gonna lose that game, but it's a 6-game, like, group stage. You can afford to lose some games and still be in top 8. If not, then you're top 24, and even if you would win the group stage, you can still be, like, unlucky and play a good player in the first round. So, like, it's always, like, bracket based, and it doesn't matter if you end number 1 or 24. Like, you can get, like, unlucky or lucky either way. So I'll just try to win every single game, but I know it will be hard because, as I always say, like, in group stage it's not where I'm the best and it's not where I'm peaking. So I'll just do my best, and then hopefully in the weekend I will be like warmed up enough and be ready to be at my best, because if I'm at my best, then nobody can beat me.
All right, well, Anders, I will let you get back to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Right, guys, I'm joined by Anders Verjking. He's the 2024 World Champion.
It's up there, I'll be honest. It's really, really up there. Anders Verjking, he's dropped his voice by 7 decibels. Casey the same. Richard Buckley alongside Ryan Pessoa to guide you through some more action coming from the FC Pro World Championships, live from the heart of Paris at the Esports World Cup. Ryan, we've seen 6 players victorious or in defeat so far, 1 draw to separate as well. What are you expecting as we move forward and see more players taking to the stage?
I think more goals, I think it's fair to say, especially after that opening round. But you can see Anders up against his opponent there with Redlac, who I had a brief conversation with beforehand. And he's had a rough session in terms of practice, so we hope he can start off strongly in this one. You can see all 6 games on your screen. We're going to actually be focusing on PH Zin up against Levi Finn right here.
And it is going to be PH Zin from left to right, Levi Finn from right to left. I know you mentioned that practice record from Redlac. Doesn't matter what happens. What did you used to say, though? Practice means nothing.
You can speak, okay, just basing off that interview there from Anders, obviously it's not practice, it's actually group stage he's referring to, but you can start slowly. Ultimately, it doesn't impact the result and what your path to the final could look like. It is a bright start there from Milka Love. Obrad 1-0 down early doors.
Yeah, we'll try and bring you all the action, all the goals as PH opens up his account at the FC Pro World Championship, qualified through the CONMEBOL eLibertadores runner-up position. He's got an army of Tuzi Esports fans behind him that have made the trip to Paris. And he starts with a lovely low-driven finish into the bottom corner.
Right start. And it's key to mention, these two players here, their seasons could have turned out very, very differently.
Absolutely.
Levi Finn, when we saw him in Germany, he was relying on a few results to go in his way in order to get into play-ins. And he made it through there to qualify for the World Championships. PH Zin was looking down and out pretty much against Facu Cohen in Brazil and somehow managed to turn it around.
The liveliest atmosphere I've ever seen for a game. We see another angle of the finish there that put PH in 1-0 up. We've got all the games in front of us here from the commentary position. Danny Pitbull taking on Neat, Milka Love and Obrad as PH looks to double his lead. Good save from Heel, who comes out and the ball just dribbles out of play. Let's show you a couple of those moments from the other matches. That's scrappy at the back.
Goodness.
But Danny Pitbull for Nova Esports goes 1-0 up. And we're just seeing across the board, Redlac and Anders Versgang in action alongside Katja and Matthias Bonanno also. There has been goals across the board and we'll give you all the best bits from this round of fixtures.
Adida up against Samu Gamer is another game to keep a close eye on. We'll bring you updates whilst we can. Obviously 6 games going on at the same time.
Granit Xhaka looking to come in behind. There's a very boisterous atmosphere here at the Esports World Cup. Plenty of different stages and action unfolding. If you are in the area as well, if you can get a ticket, make sure you come on down. As Granit Xhaka goes through on goal, finds the finesse into the top corner, level game with 12 on the clock.
Yeah, you saw the keeper just rooted to the spot. He tried to move him. And it allowed that near post finesse shot from Granit Xhaka to equalise for Levi Finn.
We spoke with Levi Finn quite a bit of the virtual Bundesliga, obviously, when he was the defending champion coming into the tournament. It didn't quite go his way, but even in defeat and even in sort of moments of, I would say, disappointment, he was very positive on the whole season. He had there was some huge permutations that had to go his way, but he had a real belief that he was going to find his way to another World Championships.
He was very level-headed and realistic as well in terms of the way he thought his season could go. That's Anders Versgang, of course, for Team Falcons, breaking the deadlock against Redlac. It's going to be a bit of fortune again. We've seen that in other games, I should say. And Levi Finn up 2-1, but just continuing what we were speaking on about him. Just having that mentality as well, knowing that obviously you have to be accepting that his fate wasn't in his hands and he's potentially about to concede straight from kickoff, Rich.
Yeah, it's a poor offside trap, isn't it? PSG can't make it count. Kike Nazareth can't find the far corner across the goalkeeper. It's whipped into the back post. Full fall to Jude Bellingham on the edge of the box. A little twist and a little turn. And Salma takes over. But as you were saying, I think both players are similar mindset, to be honest. Even PSG, he went into that CONMEBOL eLibertadores title championship knowing I have to perform here.
Yep.
3rd, 4th place, quarterfinals isn't good enough. I have to make it to the grand final. And that's exactly what he did. Samu Gamer running out of the blocks with a quick 3-0 start against Adida.
Yeah, not the start Adida would have wanted in this game. 3-0 down early doors.
So Adida not too long ago, as we see Levi Finn coming forward once again. This was that scrappy goal that we just talked you through. The reaction from PH right there. I know Brandon and Grav were up here just 10-15 minutes ago talking you through the first round of action as PH equalises, and it will go on to my point here. 2 players here who qualified for this tournament at a very different stage of the year. PH in that first week of May, Levi Finn only days away.
Yeah.
Is there an advantage to those players who came through the play-ins?
I would always say naturally, because you're playing high-intense competitions, you're going to have a bit of an advantage, especially if it's in recent times. You can't really replicate the last chance qualifier or the play-in, through practice. It's impossible. So I think having that experience does have a slight impact. I don't think it's the be-all and end-all, but I think in these positions it does help. Peter's in behind. Kika with that game changer. Travella there, low driven into the corner to take the 3-2 lead
The weight of the pass was perfect. As Pierre Jean scored first. Gets a couple pegged back from Levy Finn and now finds himself back in front. You see Nightwatch there just over Levy Finn's right shoulder, and each Champions League grand finalist in his own right. Now, one of the leading voices at that RB Leipzig camp behind the controller. We're going to see the perfect pass there from Ousmane Dembele that did put PH in 3-2 up. As we go back to the live action, the ball cannons off the post. Looking across the other matches taking place at the moment, Danny Pitbull and Neat still locking horns. Danny Pitbull leading 3-1. Milka Love leading 2-0 against Oberon.
Wow.
PH comes forward once again, twisting and turning, kick at Azareth. 2-goal cushion for PH.
Brilliant dribbling there in the box, just the way he forced Levy Finn to step in. It was a bit aggressive with Stam, didn't time it correctly for Levy Finn there, but Peter finds himself up by 2 goals now as the pause is cued in.
Well, let's go to another game if we can. That Bonanno versus Caccia match. It's currently underway. They're in the 37th minute while we do have a pause here. And it's a really, really tight game. Scoreline level at the moment, 2-2. And here you go. How important is this World Championships for Matthias Bonanno? A couple of World Championships now where he's not performed to his quality. I grouped, I think, at the last 2 with quite low placements. Ryan, this feels like a big one for him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in previous years, in my opinion anyway, just watching from the outside in, I think he was better. In my opinion. I think this year obviously is still very, very good. He's a champion in the Premier League, and you don't do that by accident. I still feel like there are levels to go up, because we saw what he's capable of in, was it 22 season? This is the goal for Anders Vergang to make it 2-0 up against
the Team of the Season Cup when he won the 2v2.
Joke, it was so good.
Yeah.
Anders again making it 3-0 in fact.
Picked up the title in 2024 of world champion Anders Vergang. He's looking to go and add a second title to his mantelpiece. And also, in the Esports World Cup picture, a huge 1,000 points, which it could be for Team Falcons. Continue there on Bonanno and his opportunity and these chances this season.
He's definitely got a chance. When you're in and amongst the top players in the world, you always have to believe that. And I think he is capable of lifting the trophy. As I said, though, I just want to see a little bit more in terms of, let's say when we're watching, it's difficult to compare, but like Anders Vergang and Nicholas, for example, you just see a little bit of a difference there. This is goal for Levy Finn.
That's really poor
defending. He's giving up the space there for that easy finesse shot.
Yeah, that's one that he's not going to be very happy of there, PH, because it looked well too easy. And in the blink of an eye, Levy Finn has scored 2 quick-fire goals.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest, about the way the defending is. Maybe the players are going to have to take time to get used to it, but it just looks open. It's very, very open.
We're approaching half-time here. Let us know at home as well in the chat. Who do you want to see? Any questions for myself or Mr. Ryan Pessoa as PH Zin goes 5-2 up, and Ryan just shoots me a stare from across the commentary position here.
I'm just looking.
What is happening?
It just feels. It looks very easy. I don't know if that's just players being nervous or not. I haven't spoken to any players before the game, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what their thought process is on it.
Absolutely. Panetta 19, show us Anders. Well, Anders Vergang is 4-0 up at the moment against Redlac. You can see this goal. Second time I'm watching it, Ryan, anything to...
It's a bit fortunate in a way it's gone through a few bodies there in the finish, but yeah, my issue is before that.
What was your last record on champs, both of you?
15-0.
I actually played just last weekend with my first own team, 13-2.
Not bad.
But I'm looking forward to getting back because I've got a Ferran Torres that's going to be 99 rated because I did the SBC. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
Don't want to ask FG what his last record was. Don't want to know.
7-8.
Approaching the end of the first half in this game. Let's jump across, though. That is a crazy finish. Milkolov going 3-0 up there against Auburn, who's having a very, very slow start to this year's FC Pro World Championships.
Lovely feet inside the box. Play lock to the edge. There's Musiala. Big, big save from Healing goal. Here is Anders Vergang and Redlac. It's one back there for Redlac. 4-1 now. That game is.
It must be a horrible feeling when you're seeing your matchups and you realize your first game is against Anders Vergang.
He'll know him, though. They spent time at RB Leipzig together. I think it's less of maybe a...
Oh, that's lovely. Oh.
Double roulette. Beautiful. What a save. I think because he knows him probably quite well, it might be less of a scary fact as it would be maybe for us.
And then also you can say that maybe you can catch him off guard. First game, maybe he's a bit cold, but it's going to find its way through almost. Finding the back of the net. Half-time, Piatzin leads 5-4 against Levi Finn.
Well, we are at half-time here across the board. Let me just run you through a couple of those scorelines as they stand right now. Piatzin 5, Levi Finn 4. Danny Pitbull 5, Neat 2. Milkolov 3, Auburn 0. Bonanno 4-2 up against Katia. Samu Gamer leading 4-1 against Adida. And Anders Vergang 4-2 against Redlac. Couple of quick-fire goals there from the EMLS champ. You see all the games there on your screen. Surprised at half-time by any of these results that are currently taking shape, Ryan Pessoa?
Not really. That's a smart finish there for Anders to go 5-2 up. So the only big surprise there for me would be the Auburn result as it stands, but there's still a long way left in that game.
Yeah, Milkolov qualified through that third, fourth place matchup at the virtual Bundesliga, with Nasada already having his spot through the FC Pro Open. The spot then comes down to the semi-finalists. Maybe one of the most nerve-wracking games of the entire season, with everything on the line in a one-off match. Milkolov did win, and rightfully so, at the FC Pro World Championships. As for Samu Gamer, he goes 5-1 up against Adida. A tough start for the man from USA.
Very, very high pressing there from Anders, and he gives it away, can't win the ball high up again, and it allows Redlac to potentially push forward.
Nice feet on the edge of the box here from Anders Vergang. Couple of step over, just finds Salma. It makes it look so simple. Does Anders Vergang. 4 tournaments this season, 4 victories. And he's looking for a quintuple.
I know Grabberson was having that discussion about the goal in the scene, and he puts Manu there, but I think if Anders is able to complete this season with this trophy here, there's no debate, right? It's, yeah.
You see him having a few words there over the screen. For Redlac in this matchup, Ryan, it looks like the result will go away from him here. Is it one just to, as crazy as it sounds though, you know there's not going to be anyone better than this.
You're saying like a free hit?
Almost. Is that a positive way of looking at it?
I don't know. I don't think he would be looking at it like that, to be honest with you. But obviously, you have to maintain a level of realism, though, and understand that Anders, for me, this year is clearly the best player based on accomplishments, as that is Levi Finn's equaliser there. But it's just a hard start to a tournament, to any tournament.
Really tough, yeah. 5-5 between Piatzin and Levi Finn. Both players will know how important that 3 points is to kickstart this group standings. Top 24 go through. bottom 12 go out, with the top 8 bypassing a round straight in to the round of 16. Free kick, 45 yards out. There's going to be no even thought of putting that into the box. A simple recycle of possession for PHZ. See the live updates there on the right-hand side of your screen. Red Light 3, Vergang 6. Like Bonanno was just leading there against Katia, 4-3. Those are live updated right now, and a tough start for Adidas. 6-1 down to Samu Gamer. PHZ probing on the edge of the box. Levy Finn just snuffs out the attack, and it will fall to a white shirt with Bukayo Saka doing enough to get past Salma.
Yeah, I think Peterson made a little mistake. I think he wanted to create it run somebody else. Beautiful play from Levy Finn.
Giuliano dancing inside the box. Araujo with a game goal saving block. Neat getting to the byline and getting a cut back there. He'll be riding a huge wedge of momentum and confidence after that penalty shootout victory against Tex only a week and a half ago.
I still can't forget that game. Honestly, the penalty shootout, that normal time and extra time as well, was nerve-wracking.
Jude Bellingham. A little bit of analog sprint, technical dribble there, just down the byline, opening up the space here for Levy Finn. He's waiting for an opportunity. Saka into Musiala. There's the acceleration. And there's the lead with 29 minutes left to play for Levy Finn. It's 11 goals, and it's an absolute thriller here.
This is where Nightwatch will be giving the words of wisdom, just telling him, of course, you've taken the lead in these moments, but there's still a long way to go. 30 minutes is plenty of time. 9-minute halves on FC 26.
Well, let's, as we've got a pause here, let's have a quick look across some of those other matches. I know we've got the multi-feed that we can go to. Samu Gamer leading 7-1
wow,
against Adidas. As for Anders Vergang, he is leading 6-2, and all the other 4 games are currently in a pause. Danny Pitbull, 3-3 against Neat. It's a pause with Bonanno and Katia. A pause in Milkalov and Oberon, and the chews are popping. There's a party in Paris for the Pitbull. Not your go-to, Ryan?
Not for me.
Lovely lofted ball over the top. It's an interception from Jaap Stam. A corner is awarded. What does Neat have in the locker here? It's short. Is there a space there on the edge of the box? Danny Pitbull's defended that really well. Just to limit the amount of passes that can go into dangerous areas, but Neat will find a way. Casillas needed to push it out.
We saw Neat a lot this season. We see in the La Liga FC Pro regular season, and then throughout the season there, and in the last chance, call it all, but the planes, I should say. I think the biggest criticism from him early on in the season was that he overplayed a lot of chances around the box. And I felt like in the play-ins in those games, and especially against Tex, he fell into that routine again. But then there are some moments when he goes forward so fast, he's really, really difficult to stop.
Could you also say, because of how good he is naturally at the game, he's not micro-managing the match in terms of that corner there? For a lot of players, it's just hit to the back post, you play on the knockdown, you play on a second ball. He always plays his corners short. He always maybe doesn't play the entire meta. He plays his way. Extra pass to Jude Bellingham, and just that one there, aimed slightly wide of the post.
Yeah, precision shooting there. Fitz aimed on target. Obviously, there is a chance it could have been blocked, but it was still a very promising opportunity to score. What a ball that is as well, on just offside. I was about to say, that would have been a lovely way to equalise for Piet's in there.
I know we've not seen this game yet, but match number 3, if we can go to it very quickly, it's the performance of the round for me so far. Milkalov up against Oberon, 3-0. Wow. Milkalov leading. Clean sheet so far against Oberon.
Very, very impressive, especially on FC 26, to not concede a goal against somebody like Oberon, who has had a lot of success at World Championships before, FC Pro Opens as well.
Came in as the 108th ranked player, the lowest ranked player on the FC Pro rankings, and he's 3-0 up against Oberon.
Yeah, you see him there, he tried to slow the game down, going all the way back with Adam Wharton in possession, giving it to Oberon, though. He can start an attack of his own, but it doesn't look like anything is flowing there for Oberon.
Really, really, really impressive performance here from Milka Love.
Sort of like that attack there is the typical Oberon attack, where he triggers a run, whether it's from midfield or a right midfielder, and tries to play the first-time passes, build up an attack for it. This year, not as common as we've seen in previous years. It's still very, very good, but it's just, from what we've seen anyway, not working at all.
Just looking across the other matches taking place here, we'll go to something when this attack does break down. Game number 1, we have had a little bit more time elapsed there. You got full time in the bottom left corner. Matias Bonanno victorious against Katya. That looked like a win. We just joined this game at the perfect moment. Free kick, edge of the box, slammed in.
From that range, Richard, I know you love a free kick on this game as well. That has to be a goal. Levi Finn, 7-5.
Is that enough? It doesn't feel like it, does it?
Not yet. I would say no, because there's still plenty of time left for Peterson to get an equaliser. 71 minutes have been played.
We see the beautiful stage in here at the Esports World Cup, hosting the FC Pro World Championships here in week 3 of the premium esports event over the summer. We do have some huge scorelines coming through, by the way. Samu Gamer 8-2 up against Adida, and it looks to me like Anders Vergang 8-4 against Redlac, with Neat and Danny Pitbull in a very, very tight game. But you just saw a fist bump there in the back of the shot, and Neat has gone in front, now leading 4-3. And just look ahead, Ryan, what we've not seen yet. Emre Yilmaz.
Yep.
2018 world champion MS Dossary, chairman of Team Falcons. So many big names, so many big players still to come, and still looking to kick off their campaign here at the FC Pro World Championships. We'll jump back into this one live. PHZ 5, Levi Finn 7, with round about 20 in-game minutes left to play.
Was a goal from Neat to make it 4-3. Just under 10 minutes left to be played. That could be the winning goal, and so could this one here. Musiala 8-5 now. Would you think, Rich, is this enough for him?
It feels like it. It feels like maybe the wind has gone out the sails of PHG, and it was a flash start from the man representing Tuzzy Esports. But a few second half pauses maybe being the difference here. I say that. Gil has just performed an outstanding save in the bottom left of the corner of the pitch there. And PHG is piling on the pressure. But is it too little too late?
That off? Yeah, looked offside there. Defensive line stepping forward. I think for these moments, this is where Levi Finn will know, especially when the pause is skewed as a player, you know that your opponent wants to change something, whether they're frustrated, they want to bring on fresh legs or something. Just try and take time out. And he does the opposite. Gives the ball away. Peterson can attack, and if he gets a goal now, it could put him in good stead for the final 12 or so minutes.
Zizo into Salma, twisting, turning, finds the space, finds the angle, and there's the finesse. Full-time results coming in from a number of matches here. Anders Vergang victorious, Bonanno victorious, and Milka Love all with wins to their name. The guys at the desk, Chels, FG, and Mr. Chris Puckett will be guiding you through how that table is looking, with 2/3 of the competitors having played their matches. Luca Bacchio in a foot race on the byline.
Wonder if this is where Neat will start to resort to a bit of game management, a bit of discipline, just to keep possession and know that
this is
unless
game.
Something opens up clearly for him to score, you can take seconds off, take minutes off the clock here, Richard, because he would know very, very well, very recently, that you give up chances late on, you do get punished.
Absolutely. He's not even skipping the replay animation.
Take every second you can.
Is it going to be a short corner played? You would imagine so. Even when he's trying to attack, it's a short one. Do you go all the way back here?
I'd say, yeah.
Recycle around the back?
Yep.
Granit Xhaka does go back towards Nico O'Reilly. Was cut out, the pass back to the goalkeeper by Danny Pitbull. The big question now is, Ryan, how many injury time minutes are we going to get?
Look at the offside trap being spammed as well. +2, so walks off the pitch. Danny Pitbull will have an opportunity to go forward.
You know he loves late drama. If you watch the East Serie A this season, it was Danny Pitbull roaring. Calhanoglu finds the pass to Salme. Wait for the near post, low driven. The space on the other side of the goal. Luca Bacchio floated into the back post, wins the knockdown. Ousmane Dembele twisting, turning. Is there a space there? Jude Bellingham on the finesse. What a save from Gigi Donnarumma. One final chance for Danny Pitbull in his opening game of the FC Pro World Championship to get points. He keeps the attack moving forward. It's got to be now. It's got to be Donnarumma once again. Neat hangs on for 3 points. Danny Pitbull, how close can you get without the ball going in the back of the net?
Sorry, we've just jumped over to this game. 8-7, Pietrzyn has scored. 2 goals in quick succession. There is time for an equaliser. But those chances at the end, Neat, you saw the celebration and
you have to score.
You have to score. He had about 3 of those where I thought he's destined to concede there, but this is the goal from Pietrzyn. In behind, Tchouameni there.
Oh, lovely.
Takes his time with the little delicate chip over the goalkeeper. 3 minutes left, plus additional time, Rich.
We left this game at 5-8, and we thought it's done.
No way.
Pietrzyn, he's never done offside just on that occasion. I think the referee will continue to play here. And Levy Finn is in a real tough predicament here, because do you go forward? Do you try and get that 9th goal and completely seal the tie, or is possession on the forefront of the mind? I think we just saw there from Neat. You want possession, but you want it in your opponent's third.
Yeah.
As far away from your goal as possible.
From the corner, he did the right thing in going back to recycle. The offside trap was being spammed by Danny Pitbull, but then you don't keep the ball here. It's just risky. Yes, it can work out, obviously, and I think in this situation it will because there's not enough time, but you need to get the ball into the opposition's half.
15 goals. It's a battle in the opening game, but Levy Finn will come out victorious. 8-7 with the victory. 3 points on the board, and even at this early stage, Ryan, 3 points feels huge.
Yep, it does. Get points on the board early is very, very important, but then opposite side of things for Pietrzyn, it obviously isn't the end of the tournament. It's only the first round, and Anders said it in his interview. It really doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Well, there you have it, Ryan. Some incredible matches, some incredible performances, and the action will roll on right after this very short break.
I'm spending the next 2 months in Paris and already deeply regretting sleeping through 4 years of French in high school. But c'est la vie! To avoid being an ignorant American tourist, I found myself a French tutor to really help me learn the language. And there she is now! Everyone, this is Kitty, aka La Petite Sean. I had a little bit of Duolingo on the flight over. I'm excited to learn from you today. Where's your beret?
I don't have one.
Phone!
Look, I was told I'd be talking about Rainbow Six and Valorant teams today, but instead they put me with this Emily in Paris knockoff. I think I can make it work, but she called me her little dog? Okay, so we are at a flower shop. We call that in French des fleurs.
Des fleurs.
Okay, you know what? It's okay. We will try with another word, huh?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, perfect. Fougère.
Forgery. I can't wait to visit all of these cute restaurants all around Paris, or brasiers, as the French call them, right?
Yeah, that's the words.
Okay, so if I wanted to order a baguette, what would I say?
You would say, voulez-vous
Voulez-vous
coucher
avec moi? Avec moi. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Perfect.
I'm gonna go try it out. Ooh, this is really cute. How would I ask to try this on?
Oh, actually, you can say je mange des gens.
Je mange des gens. Okay. Je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens.
Des gens mange. Je mange des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens, c'est une robe.
C'est. Where am I messing
Vous
up?
voulez essayer la robe?
No. Je mange des gens, s'il vous plaît.
Non, on mange pas les gens chez moi.
Kitty has been the best teacher so far. I feel like I'm picking up the language really quickly. I mean, whenever I speak with real French people, they seem so surprised by how good my accent is. I'm doing très bon.
Oh là là, et puis ça y est, je suis américaine. On a compris que t'es américaine. On a compris.
Kitty, I did it! He even gave it to me for free.
Oh wow, that's amazing!
Yeah.
Come with me, yeah.
What did I get? Do we get jam? Okay, so as I get it, the French don't really like the American tourists, right?
Not really.
So what can I say to have them truly embrace me as a local?
Just tell them.
Mbappé et Plumer! Kitty, it worked! They've accepted me as one of their own! I'm off to see Paris and it's all thanks to you!
Bon débat.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome back, everyone. We have 2 rounds done, completed, and I am joined by the one and only Leviathan. I just watched that match up against Piegin. You were down 4-2, but you were able to crawl your way back into that competition. Talk to me how you're feeling after round 1 for you.
Yeah, obviously I'm very happy. I won my first match, had a great start into the World Championship against a really, really good player, Piegin. As you said, like, he was up, but I just tried to focus on my game. Won the game at the end. So yeah, obviously I'm happy, and I'm looking forward to the round 2 against Karim.
Now let's talk about how you even qualified to be here. You went through play-ins, which I know was very grueling. You beat Gueric in that final match. Do you find that gives you a little bit of advantage? Because you played 10 days ago. A lot of these other players played in their leagues months ago.
Yeah, true. Of course, I don't know if it's an advantage, but as you said, like, I had 10 days before, like, started to get in touch with the competition again, to being on a big stage. So I don't know if it's an advantage. I feel good. As you said, I beat Gerick also against a Brazilian guy. And now I'm happy to be here. And yeah, as I said, I'm looking forward to the next games.
Well, next games, let's talk about that one. Kareem is back as your next opponent. So what is your mindset going into that one?
Like the mindset is like, it is like every game playing against a really good player. Won the E-League Art this year with his teammate Marwan. I don't know how he played his first game, but I just try to focus on my game, collecting points and going through the group stage.
All right, well, Love, you have had a fantastic start. I'll let you get back to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Kicking things off with 3 points is not a bad start for the Red Bull. Let's take a look at some of the bigger action, though. And I heard that you two gentlemen have some crappy rosters. So I hold this card close to my chest, my heart normally. Chels, do you need this more, or do you think?
What's Casey doing here, man? I just heard enough from her over there. But
yeah, did you just toss Casey's 99 gold straight off the set?
I don't know where it's gone, actually.
Yes. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to be diving into this matchup a little bit deeper here, and of course, that was the closest fight. But were there any other surprises from this set for you?
Yeah, I mean, there was a massive surprise in that round. It was the lowest ranked player here, Milkalov. What a result against a man who we were speaking about at the start. Oberon is nuts, by the way. He is one of the best FC players around. A massive, massive result for Milkalov.
Yeah, I mean, Oberon, you would not expect him, I guess, dropping the first game against an opponent like Milkalov. But like we said before in this competition, every player here can potentially go and win it. And there's no joke for them making it this far. So for Milkalov, he probably has that little upper hand where everyone's looking at him thinking that's the 3 points they need to get. And he can use that to his advantage. And what a start for him.
Now, you guys told me that Anders is in the GOAT conversation, that he is looking to go 5 for 5, but you didn't tell me he is this confident on stage. The man's a little bit sassy after each goal.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a performer as well as a great FC player. We've seen it throughout the whole season. He's fantastic 8-4 win against Redlac. I mean, let's push it over, though, shall we, to Samu Gamer, because we haven't really spoken about him much. Shells, I know during previous FC titles, you've said you're a massive fan of Samu Gamer, in particular the Dark Arts. Yeah. He got the job done in the first game.
And with Samu Gamer, like I said, he's for so young at his age, 17, 18, his whole game is complete. He can do it all, mechanically, defensively, scoring goals, crossing skills, the Dark Arts, as you said. And I think for Samu Gamer, he has that little ego in him, that little confidence the arrogance you need to compete against the Anders and the Manu Bachors if you want to go far. And I think for Samu Gamer, this could be the tournament to go all the way.
All right, we've got some highlights rolling out here in just a little bit. Until we get to those, anyone you want to give a shout out to? I know we've got fans from all over the world watching the world's best here at FC Pro.
Oh, you know what? I've got to give a shout out to the guys who were making so much noise last year, and that was the Team Falcons guys. They brought the vibes in Saudi when we were there last year in Riyadh, and it was amazing. I know they'll be watching in their numbers. They would have been so happy with the way Anders played in the last game. I mean, this man as well, Shells. Bonanno, he got his first win on the board.
Yeah.
He's got Jafonso next.
Yeah, and I think that was a big game for Bonanno because you know you're playing your teammate in the next round and you want to start off with a win. Of course, you want to beat your teammate as well, but you don't want to have more pressure on basing your teammate if he had a bad result first game. And against Cassia, winning that game, who came through the play-ins, that's a big start from Bonanno. And now we're going on to Danny Pitbull and Neat.
How did Neat do so far in his opening set?
I mean, Neat's got the win as well. I mean, he came through the play-ins like we said. I think the players who come through the play-ins have that little edge because they've been here, they've done it before. Danny Pitbull, of course, one of the nicest men in the scene, but also a very, very good FC player. Not the best start for him. But in this league stage, there's plenty of games to go. I want to ask you something. You said to me, I mean, that Matty against Jafonso fixture, which is coming up a little bit later, this is an individual competition, albeit these guys are competitors. They're winners, both of them.
Yeah.
How much thought is going to go into that? Because surely both players in that game are going to try and win, no matter what. And look, from a Man City Esports perspective, they would like the results to, the players to be getting as many points as they can. But in this one, you just got to sit back and let them go at each other.
Yeah, of course, it's friendly competition. I think it's tough for the boys because they work all season together through all year. So you don't really want to play your team at any time. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. So these boys have to face each other. But luckily, it's in the group and league phases, and hopefully they can avoid each other in the knockouts if they get past. But it's a big game for them both, and they want to try and, I guess, have the bragging rights on who's the number one at Man City.
Yeah, bragging rights indeed. Of course, Guga Faraz is also part of the Man City Esports division as well. He's representing the team that he qualified with whilst being here. I mean, one thing that we've seen, Puckett, is the goals, the amount of goals. We can't say it enough. There are so many goals going in every single moment.
High scoring games across the board, and we are just 2 sets in. Reminder, we are going to do 3 sets today. That is 3 matches on each stage. And of course, we have 3 days of this. So at the end, you mentioned you want to have at least 7 points, maybe 8 points after watching this opening round. Shells, what are we feeling?
Yeah, you can't really put a number on it, but I think 7 is a safe bet. I think if you got 8, you're definitely
good.
Through. If you don't make it through with 8, I'm sorry, brother. That's not on me. But I think you can't really put a number on it. But 8 or 7, a safe
7.
one.
You reckon 7 points is getting you in that 24?
There's a few. There might be 1 or 2 7 that might not make it.
So what about top 8 then? Because that I mean,
top 8's got to be double digits.
I think we're gonna see a very, very important aspect of it, which is the tiebreaker style, the head-to-heads and everything like that within this format. This is the best format in FC, in my opinion. We've seen it.
You like the format?
I absolutely love this format. I'm so glad that it's here at the World Championships. It's also nice to see tactically how the players sort of react to where they are in the leaderboards. Of course, everyone wants that top 8. But, I mean, if you get in the top 8, you go into a round.
You're guaranteed top 16.
Yeah, you're guaranteed top 16. So prize money-wise, you're happy. But you also have to play your first game against an opponent who's already had a game in the round before.
But didn't you play 6 games to get there? Isn't that enough?
I hear it, but on the day, Shells, you're better placed to answer this, right? On the day, would you rather have a first game to settle in, be confident, and then play against someone who's in the top 8? Of course, if you're playing a top 8 player, you're playing one of the best in the competition so far. Or would you rather be in that top 8, in that 16, and come up against someone who's warm, who's confident, who's just had a great win to get there? What are you thinking?
I'm a 50-50 man because I like.
Oh, I'm gonna sit on the fence. That's not allowed on my desk. I need a A or a B. Pick one.
Okay, hear me out. I think I would take the skip of the round just because it takes a lot of pressure.
Right.
But
I can prep for both people too.
But having the advantage of maybe winning the round before, it is a bit of an unfair advantage in a way. But I like to relax, so let me skip around, please.
Just take the prize money. You're happy.
I'm good, bro.
How in this sport? How much are you guys prepping for your opponent? Are you purely playing your game? Because there's counter picks in other titles where you're making sure that your opponent can't play their perfect game.
Surely you've got to just prepare to score goals in this game.
Yeah.
Speaking of scoring goals, I'm told our casters are ready to call some. The next round of games is ready. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much, guys.
Rich, just one thing. Shells, how is that fence you're sitting on? How is it? How is it looking like? Come on, we're here to give predictions. Rich, I know you're a man of predictions. Did Umit against MS Dosari, how is it looking for you?
It's just such a tough one because you don't know what to expect from Dosari. Obviously, you can talk about his accolades all day long. 2018 world champion, multiple time champion across the board. However, when it comes down to it, he's also the chairman of Team Falcons. He's also a very, very, very busy man. But he's still applying himself. He finished second in the ESPL Saudi Pro League title behind that man right there, Abu Maka, a once Falcon, now no longer. So if I were to give a prediction, I think Umit wins. However, I'm more intrigued to see what the King of the Jungle can offer us.
I agree 100%. I'm curious to see how MS Dosari is going to play in here, because I know, as you mentioned, being the CEO, being the chairman of Falcons.
Busy guy.
He's a busy guy, but I know he's been working with Javi Villar for a couple of years, but specifically for these last couple of months. So I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this FC Pro World Championship as well.
I'll take you a little peek behind the curtain. We obviously, Team Falcons, this is almost their tournament. They've won it twice now. They are looking for the ultimate prize, the club championship, the top spot. There was maybe a conversation saying, you want to come on and maybe talk about that? How important is it that Team Falcons have a great representation in the FC Pro World Championships? I'm not the CEO of Team Falcons this week. I'm a player, was his answer. I think that shows maybe the mindset that we're going to get from Mr. MS Dosari. On the other side of the stage, you can't not talk about the 2022 world champion, Umit, from RB Leipzig. When you talk about those best of all time debates, he's not really in that conversation, Umit, but he's right on the bubble. A title here maybe puts him towards the top of the tree.
He's not far away either, especially if you take into account the 2v2 and the 1v1. He's up there, but his been suffering throughout the whole last 2 years, I would say, with...
His first World Championships in a little while.
Yes. Even though he's playing good, he's not up to the caliber of GOAT material in the last couple of years, but we're on the way, Richard.
We certainly are. Umut will be kicking from left to right in the RB Leipzig strip, and from right to left, Team Falcons, MS Dosari. There's always a buzz when this man takes to the stage. A decade of brilliance within FC. And the 2026 World Championship once again. MS Dosari is here to play as he opens up with Adam Water on the edge of the box, looking for angles to maybe find Jamal, and it's a finesse shot into a group of bodies. We've got an early breakthrough here between Guga and Emre Yilmaz. It's the young star, runner-up on many occasions this season. What an opening season he's had, Guga.
It seems like he's always just one step away from championship material at the moment. I mean, he's been top 2, top 4 throughout the whole year, especially in Portugal. So I'm curious to see how Guga is going to perform in here, Paris, because it has been a great breakthrough year for him.
Commonwealth Libertadores, top 4. Obviously, the Portuguese Pro League finished second with Santa Clara. Comes into the play-ins and performs incredibly well.
Incredible.
Other matches in this round, Alihan against Abu Maka, they're going head-to-head. We've got Paulo Neto up against Cristobal. Obviously the match in focus here that we are looking at. A Ligue 1 affair between Marwan and and there is Abu Maka going 1-0 up in the opening 5 minutes as MS Dosari kickstarts his campaign with Jamal Musiala.
It had to be him. I do feel like Musiala is a player that really suits the playstyle from MS Dosari, especially with the passing playstyles and the passing stats. So I do feel like even though Dos always approaches the game in a way in which he played back in 2019, I do feel like you can adapt to the meta, and I feel like he will do this year. And we had a question on the chat by Kira Sensei, Rich. Is MS Dosari on the same team as Anders?
Correct, they absolutely are.
That's Team Falcons. As we see the replay coming in from Guga against Emre. And that's Jude Bellingham making it 2-0. Guga, great start.
Emre, typically a player who races out the blocks, and a bit of frustration creeping in there from Emre Yilmaz, 2-0 down. The final match, just to update you on, K1 John and Ilian from PSG Team Vitality, they've kicked off 0-0, only 2 minutes on the clock. After this round, Grav, every single player, all 36, will have played 1 game. We'll start to get a decent picture of how that table's looking. But there's so many points left up for grabs.
We have 5 rounds left, so let's see how everything turns up to be. As we see the replay coming in from Rodri, making it 1-1 for Umut. Curious, because I didn't think Rodri was going to start for a lot of players in here. I did think we're going to see a lot of Jude Bellingham, a lot of Xhaka.
Yep.
And Rodri was not a pick that I expected, to be fair. We see Emre Yilmaz making it 2-1 with Dembele, the 98 rated item.
Looks a bit frustrated, doesn't he, Emre Yilmaz there? Long ball over the top to find Saka. Now the Granit Xhaka item that you mentioned brought into play. There is Roger with the 5 playstyle pluses, the path to glory with Rodri after, I'm sure it won't be the first time this weekend, Spain's victory, as Grav has been telling us. Kike Nazareth, play lock pass in the middle of the pitch, plenty of space, and a 2-1 lead for Umut.
Great goal, and that's something that we should definitely discuss during this whole week of FC Pro World Championship action. And it's the comparison between the likes of Kike Nazareth, the likes of Salma Parayuelo. As we see that great chance by Jude Bellingham. Only 3 playstyle pluses, but they are still meta, and they are still being used in here, which I think explains, Rich, that if you got 3 really good playstyles and then you have good stats as well, I do think it's enough.
Good stats. In Salma's case, the accelerate type, the body type, for example, all those sort of small details would outweigh. You would rather have 3 playstyle pluses that are incisive, finesse, and
rapid,
rather than 5 playstyle pluses with 2 of those maybe being power shot and long throw, as MS Dosseri levels up the tie once again. Kika Nazareth, a name that if you didn't know, get to know.
You should, definitely. And I mean, we were talking about the way DOS approaches the game, especially from 2018-19, and this was a great example. That was a counter-attack, attacking on the wing, an easy pass back, the tap in by Kika Nazareth. A similar explanation to Salma Parajuelo.
So we keep that in, actually, with Yamal on the far side of the pitch there. 98 rated Yamal. Phenoms. So many different items in the team here. You've got Team of the Seasons, Path to Glories, Summer Stars, Icons, Heroes.
Whoa.
You name it, they're featured. Here is Jude Bellingham. Dangerous inside the box. Cast your eyes to the bottom left corner there. Doesn't fall to him in the end. And a take-ahead goal from K1 John leads 2-1. Is that just offside there from Umut? Couple of centimetres too early.
Curious, because another narrative into this game is the use of the centre-backs, because on one side we do have Maldini and Araujo. Araujo is the most picked centre-back in here at the FC Pro World Championships. On the other side we have Jaap Stam, and I'm confident it's Upamecano, but I do think it's the position that's gonna change the most in here.
I mean, with you look at the fullbacks, a lot of people are using Marc Pubel in at right back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the play styles, the body type, the lengthy player that he is. I've also seen Araujo in at right back as well. Kika Nazareth just on side, twisting and turning, trying to get back on, but looks like Pacho there coming across.
It was William Pacho, not Upamecano, sorry. But it is a nice topic, Rich, because I do really like Araujo as a right back. Even though offensively, as we just see this, great save by Casillas. I do think Araujo is great as a fullback, but I just don't really like him as a centre-back, in my opinion. I will probably go with either Jaap Stam, which in my opinion is the greatest, or maybe Maldini. And if you want to save some coins...
What about Lacroix? We saw him a lot at the LCQ.
You could go with him if you want to save a few coins, but I just not sure about Araujo.
There is Kika with the finesse shot, and I'm sure people will be asking in the chat, the Summer Stars 99 rated Spanish items, for example, they were out of eligibility when the teams were drafted. The best player to go is maybe get a path to glory, and Laporte, he's now got 5 playstyle pluses, and he was eligible to be in, but he's not selected that many times.
I don't think he has a great body type, Laporte. We just see that.
What about Van Dijk? No Van Dijk, Team of the Season?
I did try him at home, and in my opinion, out of all the centre-backs that I used, for me, Van Dijk was the best. He was so strong. He was just physically, he was outstanding. But I will say he was a bit slow.
Chat, you let us know. Who's a player, 15 million coin budget, who is guaranteed to be in the team? Is it Johan Cruyff? Is it Pele? Is it R9? Ruud Gullit? Patrick Vieira? You can name the icons as long as we go live here over the next 5 days. See the stats there at a quick glance. Possession in Umut's favour as he goes into this pause, leading 4-2. Let me talk to you very quickly as the chat comes in with some of those suggestions through the other matches that are taking place. Marwan and Brees 1-1 at this current moment. Ilian 2, K1 John 2. You've got Guga 4, Emre Yilmaz 3, and Paulo Neto and Cristobal. Can we go to that game if possible? Game 4, because there is goals galore in that matchup between Paulo Neto and Cristobal. It's 5-4 at the moment. Chris leading. While we just wait for this pause, let's jump into it in full and we can see how this match has taken place so far.
It is 2-2 to Ilian at the moment in this match against K1 John. I will say that Ilian, for the last 2 years, was 1 game away from qualifying to the World Championship. I don't know if you remember back in FC 24.
Yep.
At Dallas, he was just 1 game away from qualifying, and it was devastating to him seeing him lose. Same at the ILICAM finals last year. So I'm happy for him. I do feel like he deserves it, and I feel like he could be one of the dark horses in here in the tournament.
I'm sure if he makes it into a deep running of the tournament as well, those Parisian fans will make their way out for Ilian, representing Vitality and also PSG.
We have a comment on the Twitch chat as well, Rich. Richard, with 50 million budget, he has to be R9. I don't know about that. R9 this year.
Does it have the playstyles?
He doesn't really.
Well, we jump back into this game with a replay here. MS Dossery, 4-3 now. Lamine Yamal with a little tucked toe poke of a finesse shot past the onrushing goalkeeper. As we're going to see the moment that put K1 John ahead here for Austin. Umut coming forward once again. We're on the precipice of half-time with only 1 additional minute. Can MS Dossery go into the break with a level ball game? No, he will not. As Emre Yilmaz levels the tie, 4-4.
Great goal by Emre Yilmaz, as we just saw. Dos just attacking slowly on the wing, trying to look for the last kick of the first half. And I will say that even though it seems like Umut has been dominating the match, Dos is still alive. It's 4-3 down, just 1 goal down, and it could be on for a better second half as we just jump over to this Ilian K1 John, which is still 2-3.
We just see the scores coming through the right-hand side of your screen there. Marwan 2-1 against Breeze. Cristobal still leading 5-4 against Paulo Neto.
Great match.
Guga and Emre level 4-4. We just saw the equalising goal from the 2-time Champions League winner Emre Yilmaz, and Abu Maka leading 3-1 against RB Leipzig's Ali Han Lyon. There are all the updates from around the grounds with half-time approaching. Grab, what are you made of this first 45? I'm going to ask you in particular on the Umut and MS Dossery game. It's the game we've seen in the fullest so far, as this chance will fall for nothing. What's your thoughts at the break?
I will say that I like the way Umut's approaching the game. I like the way he's holding the ball. I remember the stat, which was 73% of possession. So I feel like he's doing the right things. He's second man pressing well, and when he has the chance to look for that pass to Salma Parayuelo, he's just going for it, and he's scoring goals. But you can never count the king of the jungle out. So let's see what happens in the second half.
Well, it's the king of Sao Paulo, Paulo Neto, the Commonwealth E-Libertadores champion, that we jump to now. His performances at the World Championships, for a player of his quality, not quite been able to get into that quarter-final, semi-final stage. Could this be the tournament that he does go a couple of steps further, Graf?
It could be. Could be. I mean, you never know, especially with the tournament which is played during 5 days. I do feel like you could see the progression of the players throughout the whole week. I'm curious to see that, because I feel like when we are playing, let's just say, on a 2-day tournament, usually... what a ball.
Bottom left corner, just offside, as Guga once again goes back in front.
I feel like when back to my point, I feel like when we're watching a 2-day tournament, you don't really see that much progression from players, but it's a 5-day one.
I mean, it's quite obvious the question I'm going to ask from you, when the best time to peak is it's going to be on Sunday, right?
Yes.
But you might not get to Sunday.
It could happen.
Throughout the 3 days of groups, when's the best day to, if you're going to get 6 points, Is it just 6 points at any point, or are you wanting day 2 or day 3 when you start to see how the table's looking?
As we just see this goal being scored by Chris De Boer, it was a bit crappy, but it counted. Scrappy, sorry. I wanted to... That question was really good. I would say, in my opinion, I would say it's day 2, Rich.
Yep.
Day 2, you could really...
Oh, what a finish.
You could get it 6 points, and I feel like it's the right moment between playing good enough in the first day, which would make you get 1 point out of 6. Then you get 6 points. I feel like the pressure is off your shoulders on day 3.
It's all about managing that pressure, managing that momentum and confidence.
You never know. What would you say? Day 1, 3, 2?
5.
5.
Win the tournament.
That's you.
Yeah. I'm only here for one thing. FC Pro World Championship.
Right on.
1,000 Esports World Cup Club Championship points to an organisation as well. Straight from kickoff, Paulo Neto down the other end, Jude Bellingham, there was the finish at the near post, 6-6. Let's turn our attention into this game for a little while then. It was the match that we started this round of fixtures off with in the third part, shall we say, of round 1. As Ilian levels the tie. Is that onside? Not quite. Pause comes in. Talk to me about the pauses, because a lot of people, this is a moment where your opponent pauses it on FUT Champions. You look down at your phone. You get frustrated. Why are you pausing? Come on, play the game, play the game. In the pro scene, these are maybe the most important moments of the match.
Probably. I feel like those are the moments which define matches, especially if, as we've seen from the 6 matches, it's really usually is a goal difference in these instances. So I feel like I'm really a big fan of just pausing the game for 90 seconds, talking with your coach and trying to look for a way in which you can approach those last 20 minutes of the game. I feel like you could, sometimes when you're playing and you're on that tunnel vision, you don't really know what you're doing wrong. And the right words from your coach could mean 3 points. So I don't really get why players skip replays, they don't pause the game, because I feel like that plays such a huge impact.
Yeah, managing almost the pace of the match, as that could have got very, very dangerous at the back there for K1 John for a split second. Does get away with it with some good composed passing out of the back. That pause has been cued there, or should I say demanded by Ilian. Just see those runners off the ball here. Not the best of attacks from K1 John, and Ilian will have an opportunity with the mastery of the player locks that he does have to be able to carve open an opportunity here. Luca Bacchio twisting back inside. As we see the leveller there from Guga, 6-6 now that game lies. As we cast our attentions back to Ilian at the near post, Casillas with a big save, and actually saves the corner.
Oh.
As we approach this final furlong of action here in the opening round of the FC Pro World Championships, a pause comes in. Let me talk you through the other matches as we currently see them.
Go for it.
Marwan just concedes there against Brice. That's a replay. That's 3-3 right now. We have got Umut leading 5-4 against MS Dosseri. And Abu Maka leading 4-2 against Ali Han as Umut pulls his comes in with a goal on the score sheet, 6-4.
Massive goal for Umut.
You see, 4 out of the 6 games he pauses.
You were mentioning how those are the defining moments of the match, and it's 100% truth as we just see this goal by Kika Nazareth with an incisive pass coming in from Dembele.
Runner-up at last year's World Championships right there in Brice. Not had the season really that he would have wanted. FC Pro Open didn't go his way. You look then at the E-League and a disappointing, by his standards, performance there.
Definitely.
Had to go into the play-ins, had to get it done. And coming into the World Championships last year, he wasn't a name that you were thinking he's going to make not only Championship Sunday, but make a run to the top 2. He could do it again. There's nothing stopping him.
No. It's a similar situation to last year. No one expecting anything from him. And I feel like that takes huge pressure off your shoulders. So let's see how he approaches it. Because I feel like if he, let's just say he matches Nicolas again in a quarterfinal, Nicolas won't approach the game the same way he did last year.
Umut with just over 20 minutes left on the clock, leading against MS Dossery. And is it those now in the final sort of 15-20 minutes, Grav, the FC Pro Opens of the last couple of years, the continuous, relentless qualifying campaigns that Umut has been on to get to the World Championships that may just get him over the line?
Let's see how it is, because we just see
what a game.
Scoring the 8th goal of the match for him so far. I'm curious to see how Dos approaches the game with a 2-goal difference lose at the moment, because he's brilliant at second man pressing and pressing high up the pitch, but it's really hard against Umut because he'll trigger players and he'll go forward. So let's see who's able to prevail. I do feel like Dosari is going to score at least another goal. The question is, will Umut do the same, which could definitely do.
Absolutely. I was just looking there at Cristobal in his games. At the E-Champions League, I don't know if you remember some of the matches that we saw from him. Just goals galore, 8-3, 9-6, 7-8. The year before at the E-Champions League. This year, again, just goals, goals, goals with Chris. But it's probably not the game you want to play, maybe against Paolo Neto.
Probably.
K1 John with a great block there from Ilian to stop a 5-3 lead. There's all the matches. There's the emotion starting to come out of the players as well, as they all know how important getting that opening 3 points, that opening start to the FC Pro World Championships really is.
No.
Mistake from Dossery, punished off the line. Incredible. He pulled Araujo back there and he's flicked it from underneath his own crossbar. The veteran, the wily veteran. Keeping himself in the game. Have a look at this.
The replay.
Lovely build-up play once again from Umut, just probing and prodding Dossery on the edge of the box. And he looks like he could find his way in. Guga there with another goal between him and Emre Yilmaz.
Great defense by Umut.
Jude into Kika Nazareth's great block.
Great block as well. The player switching first to the right back, then against the centre back. That was great from the 2022 World Champ.
And those live updates cycling through on the right-hand side of your screen. Alihan, Abu Maka, 4-4 in their matchup. This is Cristobal and Paolo Neto. And maybe Cristobal does want to get involved in a goal-scoring frenzy against Paolo Neto. 10-7. Umut drives forward once again. Ousmane Dembele causing Casillas to pull out some quick reflexes. This game feels as though it's just teetering Umut's way.
Definitely has, as we see the replay coming in from Lionel Messi. Marwan to make it 5-4 in an all-French matchup. You can see the frustration building up from Brice. And this has to be it. This has to be the final chance.
Yeah, 2 goals in 3 minutes.
He needs to score in this, Rich.
And not only needs to score, Grav, but he needs to score pretty quickly as well. Pretty sharpish. Yamal, Paraleo finds the finesse. 6-5. Can Umut hold on? There's black shirts flying forward. The team press activated. But with only 1 minute on the clock, you just don't know if he's going to get a chance.
Oof. The second man press.
There's no passes there for Umut. He gets away with it, threads the needle. And 3 points on the board.
Wow. Game management.
Perfect, really. Risky.
It was.
But worked out.
Flawless performance by the 2022 World Champ. Deserved win over MS Dosari. And 3 points for him. So we just jump over to this Alihan matchup.
What else are we seeing then across the games here? Ilian lost 4-3 to K1 John. Umut 6, Abu Maka, MS Dosari 5, as Abu Maka, we see on the screen right here, embroiled in action. 4-4 at this current moment. That was the goal that we had just seen a replay from them. And once the game's back underway with live action, we will join it. As for Emre Yilmaz and Guga, 8-7, Guga leads.
Wow. I don't think we've seen Emre Yilmaz dropping many points at a league table.
Not at all.
No.
It's usually top of the pile, 15 out of 15, 18 out of 18, 24 out of 24, whatever sort of group phase you want to call it, whatever league stage you want to call it, whatever it is, he's usually at the top. As you said, Grav, 2 players that did compete in the E-Ligue Championships this season. As for Marwan, he was victorious, lifting that trophy aloft with AS Monaco. Brice turns the corner. Benitez, what a save. What a save. And even as credible as that save is, it should have been a goal.
It should have been one. Was maybe the lack of the playstyle plus from Fiamma Benitez, but I thought it was a goal, Rich.
Playing for the last attack here now is Brice. Has he gone just a second or two too early though, Grav?
Maybe. Because we know how Brice likes to play the game, so he'll comfortably pass it on the back. He'll invite pressure, but he knows when it's time to go, he'll go forward.
But the white shirts are edging forward. 2 additional minutes. I don't know if there's a way out for him here.
Not sure.
Marwan trying to step on him, trying to limit the space, limit the passing options.
It's gotta be now.
And he has just got out to the halfway line here, Brice. That ball does turn over, but it turns over the Parisians' way. The game will just, unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for Brice by the looks of it, frustration from last year's runner-up.
Nobody's happy. Brice is not happy. Marwan is not happy. We're not happy.
I think both of them looked at this game and thought, that's 3 points.
Definitely.
As Abu Maka leads here against Alihan Lyon. Virtual Bundesliga runner-up this season. That's how he got his spot at the FC Pro World Championships. As for Abu Makar, once again, victory in the ESPL in Saudi Arabia.
That's curious. Jude Bellingham, 34 stamina. Not so tough.
High depth.
Probably with the constant press on as well. Oh, it's a tough situation now.
We've seen Abu Makar the last couple of years when we've been over in Riyadh as well. That crowd give him that extra buzz.
Yes.
He'll be slightly more subdued here.
Yes.
In Paris. Do you feel as though that may play an impact? Or maybe the pressure's off him a little bit, not being in front of his hometown fans?
It'll definitely play a huge impact. I feel like in last year in the group stage, it benefited him, but then on the knockouts, it felt like the pressure got to him. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna go the other way, if he's able to make it into the top 24.
I remember the FC Pro Open, whenever we would watch Abu Makar, you sometimes just gotta sit back and go, wow. Some of the combination play, the passing, the intelligence. He was one of the first players to incorporate the chip in as well. It was so smooth, it was so slick. If he can start to replicate that, there's no stopping him this week.
No.
As for Alihan Lyon, the man is dangerous in every area of the pitch. Inside the final third, one of the most clinical players we have. A finesse shot at every opportunity, it would seem, for Alihan. And he will probably be looking at this season thinking, maybe there should be a title to my name, E-Champions League, VBL. Just fell short on 2 occasions. Abu Makar at the near post. Casillas dives across his goal. A spring in the step.
I thought I was going in, Rich. Sorry.
Short corner played here. It's a very, very slow recycle of possession. Those live updates coming through at the side of the screen. Full-time results.
Oh, what a pass.
Pinged over to Saka, and he will get himself a corner. Would you like to see a different variation on this?
I thought so. Maybe trying to be a bit more direct, but he's going for the same one.
You don't want Musiala back there as well as the last man, do you?
That's a risky choice, let's just say.
He's just lost possession there, and Musiala is going to be called into defending. As Alihan comes forward, there is Alihan's Jamal Musiala in the offensive area of the pitch, linking up with Kika Nazareth. An incredible block, it's scrappy, and Abu Makar remains calm under pressure to play his way out.
The right back is now out of position. I feel like the center midfielders are too high up the pitch. This could be a great attack and a chance for him. Look at it. Yes, he's on.
Ousmane Dembele didn't play the pass, goes back to Salma.
Musiala.
Could this be it? Ball roll, scoop turn, dribbling, close control. Dembele on the finish!
Oh.
Doesn't matter where he is. Abu Makar always finds a way to clutch up in the big moments. The last kick of the game. Abu Makar steals 3 points away from Alihan Lyon.
Take a bow, Abu Makar. I mean, wow. I'm just speechless.
Gravy's speechless. I need a rest. Round 1 has wrapped up here at the FC Pro World Championships. After the break, Puckett, FG and Shells will guide you through what round 1 has offered. And we're only 1 game down here in Paris. We'll see you right after this break.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by play.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
PUBG, and of course the lovely Glitter once again to give us a bit of an update on what that looks like for the club championship points this time around.
Yeah, and we've got a lot going on actually. We're in day 2 out of day 3 for our group stage, and after today we actually have VP sitting at the very top of our leaderboard, which is good when it comes to the storylines we're talking about for club championship. However, we also have the defending champs Twisted Minds at the top of our leaderboard with still one more series left to play in the group stage, as well as AGAL, who were a team that everybody thought could potentially take the whole tournament home. They had a really rough start to their first day and the first half of the series today. Massive bounce back in the second half of the series, completely clutched up and I think saved their chances of making their way through to the finals. And they're currently in 3rd on the leaderboard right now, so we're definitely keeping our eyes on them.
All right, that sounds like a lot of action actually happening over on your stage specifically for the club championship, which is super exciting and ties into ours as well perfectly. So if you want to have more updates for club championship, just make that you stick around because we will of course provide them.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so pleased to be joined by a previous world champion, the 2022 world champion. It is Umut. Umut, I know we haven't seen you on this stage since 2022 when you won it. So how are you feeling being back at the World Championships?
Of course, I feel great to be back. I know I also deserved to be on this stage. It's the biggest tournament of the year. I mean, everyone prepares just for this tournament. Also the tournament with the most prize money, so everyone is just hyping up for that. I'm happy to be again here and give my best to win it.
All right, let's talk about that first match that you had. It was 2 previous world champions, 2022 versus 2018. You went up against MS Dostary. I mean, it was quite the close matchup. How are you feeling in that one?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a really tough matchup. It was 50-50. It also could go another way. Yeah, I didn't play that good, to be honest. I think he also didn't play his peak, so we both was struggling a little bit. At the end, I managed to win. I also did a little bit of time wasting. In the end, I played good then, but overall, it was like a really tough match, a good opponent, and yeah.
Well, you have 1 match done today, 1 more to go. Next round is up against K1 John. We saw him play over in EMLS this year, so how are you feeling going into that matchup?
Yeah, I played also in previous years a lot against K1 John. I know a bit about his level. I mean, he's really, really good. So it will be really, really tough. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the match. I know he's good, but I also know I'm good. So we're going to see how the match will end.
Awesome, Umut. It's so great to have you back here at the World Championships. I'll let you get back to it, get to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Case, and congratulations to Umut. A big matchup there. 2022 world champ going up against the Falcons 2018 world champion. Dostary close, but Falcons not going to score in this round. Thoughts on what we just witnessed?
Yeah, I think for the first game for both players, I think for Umut, he would favor that matchup against Dos, but I think with Dos, you can never really count him out. We don't really get to see him as much in action as we used to, but every time he does get to these events, he does show that he still got it. It's a tough loss for him first game on, but he still has a lot to prove himself.
FG, as we take a look at some of the results, how do you finish with a draw after starting up 5-0?
Listen, I'm the king of that. I'll probably lose from that position. So, look, the beauty of this format, like we said, is we are in the league stage. Players will go a bit more gung-ho because, when they've got the lead, they can just try and get as many goals as they can, and your opposition is going to score against you. The result that's standing out to me there is Guga Faraz against Emre Yilmaz. 8-7. Emre Yilmaz, by the way, FC Pro runner-up, Eredivisie champion. He's won the ECL twice. Albeit it wasn't his best tournament this year, but that result for Guga is massive, and that is a player that we have to keep an eye on throughout this week, Shells, because he's on absolute fire.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see his highlights in a moment. Gentlemen, walk me through the goals on screen.
Yeah, as you can see, he got a short corner, plays it short. Short corners are really effective. You can see the finesse shot being used when you get around the box. Lucky to get the rebound for Umut there, but Umut going forward, we know he causes a lot of chaos, and to stop his through balls, as a clearance off the line there from Dossi to keep him in the game wasn't there enough. And we move over to this game of Paulo Neto, Cristobal. Two Team Liquid players going at it. This was a good game as well.
Highest scorer, too, of the round.
Yeah, great game. Great result for Cristobal, to be honest. Both players will be feeling confident. Paulo Neto, of course, he knows he's got more games to go in this league stage. We're seeing goals. That's a finish and a half. This one as well, Shells. K1 John coming out on top in this game. He's got Umut next.
Yeah, K1 John, he had a disappointing finish at the EMLS. I know he was looking to win that all, but lost to Redlac there, who's also at this tournament. But to beat Ilian first game, who once again, going forward, Ilian Bucci with the player locks, he is so tricky to defend against. And the first game on, it's a great win for K1 John in this one.
Yeah, a lot of confidence to be taken for that. And then that game we were just saying, this finished 8-7 to Guga Faraz. Many people would have backed Emre Yilmaz. We spoke about it. He's the one who's gone through league formats and been unbeaten before in tournaments. Well, not today, but he won't be worried though, because this man is an absolute veteran of the scene, one of the best players around. He'll be confident, won't he?
With the Team Liquid boys, they're so mentally strong. I think, Emre Yilmaz, of course, we expect him to be winning every game he plays, but I'm sure he's completely fine. Of course, he's lost his first game of the day. He ain't stressing too much. I'm pretty sure we'll still be seeing his name through the knockouts.
Yeah, of course, and this was a massive result.
Banger.
For our Saudi League champion, Abu Maka. A huge victory against Alian Lion. This one was 5-all in the old French affair. We saw Marwan, he seemed quite disappointed. He's a champion. He's an E-League champion at the moment. He's a current champion. He's used to winning. This is 5-all. He was disappointed in this game, but what a game. What a result for the neutral to be able to watch 10 goals. It was just on his even.
Yeah, we saw Marwan straight away after the game. He just walked off. He looked livid. First game on, but it shows what it means to the players. Every round matters. And he played against his fellow countryman and didn't manage to get the win, but of course, we'll take a point. You can see Abu Maka scoring 90th minute there. Would love to have heard the Saudi crowd behind him in that moment there.
Update here of who has scored 3 points per win, and we are halfway through day number 1. We've got 3 more matches loading up, and as you take a look, you mentioned some of the big surprises. Who do we expect on that right side of the screen to start scoring now, FG?
I see Emre Yilmaz. I don't see him being on 0 points for long. I think Jafonso as well. There's a lot of players there who are on 0 points, to be quite honest with you, who will be scoring. I'll be very surprised, and I can almost guarantee all of our players will get points throughout this league. Listen, it might be famous last words, but we are watching the best esports players in the world here at the FC Pro World Championships. But one thing I will say, I have to take it back as well. Jafonso, he lost his first game. He's going up against Matty in the next round. 2 teammates.
Yes.
That's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Shells, we got to take a look here at our next round of matches. We have 6 more taking place across our stages. And of course, we've got big names all week long. Who's the scariest one of this round? Who do you want our cameramen to zoom in on?
Oh, I'm seeing a few games. I'm seeing the Italian affair between Obrad and Samu Game. I think that's a great matchup. But I have to say Danny Pitbull versus Nasada. I think this is the strongest matchup.
Danny just lost as well, so a lot of pressure.
But Danny Pitbull, he's such a great fundamental player, but I think playing against a player like Nasada, listen, Danny Pitbull, you got to bring an A game. But there's a lot of great matchups. Everything against Karim as well.
I've got to say as well, this Oberon game against Samu Game, that is a massive game from Oberon's perspective.
Samu just won.
The start that Oberon had, he wouldn't have expected potentially to be in this position. Samu Gamer looked absolutely impeccable in his first game. He'll be full of confidence. The beauty of this format is all of our players know that they're at the point. If you've lost the first game, Shells, you've been a competitor before. There is a little bit more pressure, isn't there?
In a way, yes and no, because I feel like once you lose the first, depending how you lose, because you kind of can get the nerves out, but of course you want to get the win as soon as possible, but it can start to creep up because you know the rounds get less and less.
Looks like our players are just about ready to go, and I know our casters definitely are. We send it on over to 2 very handsome gentlemen. B. Smith, take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, we are ready to technically kick on with the second part of the first day of action here. This is, of course, the commencing part of round 2. Everyone's played one game on this stage in Paris. They've had different times and different matchups to play. The interesting thing about this format, Ryan, is that you already know the 6 players you're playing. This isn't Swiss, isn't form-based. If you start well, you play against someone else that's won their game. You already know your 6 matchups for a ball's being kicked here.
I think that's vital, and I think for a lot of these players, they will start to, even though you would try to take each game as it comes, but realistically as a player, I've been there as well, you will look at those matchups and think, where are you likely to get points from? And where those games that you think it might be a little bit too hard, or it's a very difficult game to overcome. And I think for some of these players now, especially when you've got 0 points on the board, you really want to end today with something.
Absolutely. I mean, look, looking across the board, is some of the games we've got. Chat, get involved in this as well. Which game you want to see? Oberon against Samu Gamer. It's the 2 Italians going head-to-head. Redlac looking for a win after that defeat against Anders Vergang. Takes on Kachi. Just saw him a second ago. Danny Pitbull, Nasada playing in his first World Championship. Levi Finn against Karim is back. And then, as we said, Virgil Neat, Hezers, and PHZ. There he is now. You cannot forget, once upon a time, an FC Pro Open champion. I mean, where do you start looking here, Ryan? There are 6 amazing games, and the best part is we can provide you with all the action across all of them.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that Oberon-Samu Gamer matchup. I think that's an interesting one. Samu Gamer sitting top as it stands, obviously the highest goal difference, and obviously winning his first game. Oberon, however,
he had a good World Championship last year as well, Samu Gamer.
Samu Gamer was great last year. Champions League as well. He's a very, very efficient player going forward. I think for Oberon as well, I expected a lot from that first game against Milkalov, who was really, really good in that game. And I think especially coming up through the last chance qualifier and the play-ins, Oberon would have a lot of expectation to do better.
Believe it or not, the only players in this round that have never faced before is actually Oberon against Samu Gamer. The 2 Italians, believe it or not, have not had a game on a competitive level. Now they match here in the FC Pro World Championships as Musiala gets Nasada underway. And how often are we going to say that? Nasada scoring goals, no matter if it's in Germany, London, or here in Paris. He's back on the score sheet once again.
Yeah, he's probably my favourite player to watch in terms of entertainment value. You know that you're going to be involved in a game where he scores a lot of goals. He's one of the few players that does take shots from some obscure angles that you may not expect traditional goals to go in from. Like there, I know a lot of people maybe would have opted for something different, but I like the way he goes forward.
Do you think he's so successful though, Ryan, because he doesn't mind taking so many risks, right?
100%. That plays a factor, and I think for some people, it's very easy, even from just rivals at home online, you're scared to take a risk. He's able to take those risks against the best players in the world, where the stakes are the highest. And I think if he's able to have that confidence, he can definitely go really far this year.
Well, this is where we're going to kick off then. Nasada against Danny Pitbull. Remember, if you're not following the FC Pro World Championships here, it's 36 players that are all battling out to be in the top 24. That's by Friday night, late evening here in Paris. If you get through there, then you're in the knockout stages. But you can make your life so much easier, Ryan, can't? If you just place in the top 16 or the top 8, it becomes an easier road.
100% on paper, that is. But I think Anders put it perfectly. I keep referring back to his interview at the start with Casey. Is that sometimes it's down to luck in a way. Like you could finish top, and let's say your game is going to be between the winner of Emre Yilmaz and Levi David, for example. It could just be down to luck with the way the bracket pans out. But obviously, as a player, you want to do the best you possibly can.
Update. Goal. Or should I say goals for Katja, who leads by 2 goals. There could be another goal over here as well, which there will be. I mean, there's a lot of them in Paris, but the Italians are all scoring goals. Danny Pitbull equalises against Nasada. And Katja, as it stands, is looking very confident over there. 2-0 he leads against Redlac in the other games as well. Karim is back, leads against Levi Finn by 1-0. Virgil Neat is 0-0. And the other 2 games of this round, Ryan, haven't kicked off as of yet.
Yeah, Katja 2-0 up against Redlac. Both players coming into this game losing their opening round. Obviously, Anders defeated Redlac, and for Katja, he lost against Banana. This was the equaliser for Danny Pitbull, just playing it back across and quick, snappy passing with a bit of fortune there as well to get it past the defender. But it is very important for both Redlac and Katja to get I want to say a win on the board. I know a point isn't bad after 2 games, but I think getting 3 points is relief more so than anything else.
Off the back of the draft information we got, Ryan, of the 36 players.
Wow.
A brilliant ball through. McTominay! Danny Pitbull leads by 2-1. But the key takeaways they got from the 36 players that drafted their side, this is the most common 11 players. And if you're a casual player at home and you want to take a thing or two from these best players in the world, yes, they had a 15 million coin budget. Musiala so close to making that 2-2. Casillas in goal. We saw him in the last chance qualifier, how good he has been. A back four that looks like this. Nico O'Reilly at left back. It's normally a centre-back partnership of Maldini and Araujo. Pubil in at right back, Salma out on the left, Bellingham and McTominay. That seems to be the double up there. Maybe not Frankie de Jong. Saka on the right, Dembele just in the number 10, and Kika Nazareth is leading the line. That is the most common starting 11 across the 36.
Yeah, there's quite a few positions which I would say are staples. Like you're most likely going to see Araujo in the team, Jude Bellingham's in a lot of them as well. This was the equaliser for Nasada, and you would have seen Virgil as well scoring in his game. I think there's a lot of variation at left back.
Araujo, centre back or right back for you?
Centre back. For sure. I think Pubil would be right back. I think the play styles and also obviously being lengthy is very important when defending.
Because that seems to be the debate, doesn't it? It's about the lengthy battle between Salma and Pubil potentially, right?
Ultimately, at this stage of the game, you're basically selecting your players based on their acceleration type and also the play styles. We're quickly jumping over here to see Levi Finn equalising 20 minutes in against Krimis. Back a little shake of the head there.
Chance, Dembele! How has he not scored the one or two chances that the side has had? Corner played short. Something else on top of that, Ryan, is, I mean, the play styles are one thing, the lengthy debate's the other, but Salma's just faster than Pubil.
Yeah.
I think it's 91 pace against 98 or 99 pace. It's, you know, so often Salma's still going to win that battle.
Even, that's a good bit of defending at the end there, even with the acceleration on the ball, with the analog sprint with Salma, she is so quick. And I think in that situation, it's going to be hard to find anyone that's going to be able to keep up with her. We got a free kick here from Nasada in shooting range.
How about this then? Sancho! Bang! Barred in, no goal line technology needed there. I mean, if you get a free kick in the right area, Ryan Passar, we say they're as good as a penalty. We said that for a few years now. And even with a player on the line, no one could stop that finish from Sancho.
Incredible free kick, and that's the thing with Nasada. He's got so many ways to score. You see the replay of it, incredible.
Danny Pitbull, confused how that has gone in.
Look at the runners here.
Dembele, McTominay. This is when Nasada starts to let rip in the final third. Well, shall we jump elsewhere? Because all 6 games are now underway. Musiala finesse. Update here. This was the second goal for Levi Finn. We joined it as we went 2-1 up. But the goals did not stop there. Levi Finn gets another. How impressed have you been by Levi Finn? Because we didn't see a good Levi Finn at the virtual Bundesliga by his own standards. He, of course, was the defending champion from winning the competition before. He goes away for X amount of months and comes back and fights for his ticket to be at the World Championships.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Levi Finn. Watched him a lot this season, and I respect his mentality and also the fact that he had to push through play-ins to get his spot here. He started off really well against Pietzing, getting 3 points on the board, and he's in a tough game against Krim, but if he's able to end today 6 points out of a possible 6, it would be an incredible return.
Yeah, Karim is back. I mean, it's about time he made a World Championship. The amount of times he's been so close. Brilliant ball. There's that finesse. Did he take it too early? Maybe he could have had an extra. Couple of touches there.
I think he was worried about the keeper coming out, and then he slowed down a little bit, but the keeper didn't actually end up covering that much ground.
I mean, you leave day one, Ryan. You don't want to be leaving with 0 points. I know you've still got 4 more games, and I know you've still got 2 more days of competition to look back on. But just a win, it just does something, doesn't it, for you mentally?
It's confidence. And as I said, as you said as well just then, you see quickly bottom left of your screen, that was a goal as well from Katia there, but that opportunity bottom left from Levy Finn could have made it 4-2, but didn't. Yeah, ending the day with 0 points, it's far from over. You could argue you'd need a lot to go in your favour to get top 8 if that was the aim anyway. You'd have to win all 4 games and hope that other people drop points around you, but ultimately, if you're aiming to get into that top 24, probably, 7 points we've seen in the Champions League earlier on this season was enough.
There's a penalty in one of the other games, by the way, and it's gone to the penalty king that knows a thing or two about scoring from the spot here in Paris. That's Neat that's got a penalty. He has just scored. He's trailing in that game still. 3-1 against Virgil. We'll give you some updates around the grounds. Catcher, 4-1. He leads against Redlac as it stands. Hezes has broken the deadlock against PH in 25 minutes in that game. He leads by a goal still. This was the goal that we were speaking about. He went for a Panenka down the middle. Remember his story. He beat Tex to get into the World Championships. Oberon against Samu Gamers, a game that we haven't really spoken too much about.
Talk to me, Brandon.
There has been another goal in the game, and I believe a Samu Gamer could be leading Oberon by 2-1. Kind of feels like the old guard versus the new guard there, of 2 Italians that have both been in the competition and in various World Championships. Samu Gamer playing in his 2nd world title. Added time here of 1 minute, and that will do us. Shall we go elsewhere, Ryan?
Let's do it.
Let's jump to another game live if we can. There's all 6 games in front of us. I mean, we don't mind where we go. We could go to PH we could go to Catcher, even Oberon against Samu Gamer that's coming back at the bottom of the middle. 3-1 Samu Gamer leads there now. We left him at 2-0 up. Catcher looks to be heading into half-time, Ryan, with a 3-goal cushion here.
Yeah, Catcher is a very difficult player to play against, especially when he's coming into this on form. Recently qualifying there through the play-ins. We'll take a look at a goal from Neat to make it 3-2 just before half-time. You'd have just seen, of course, beforehand he had that penalty where he went down the middle. And for Redlac, he's having a tough time so far.
Yeah, remember his first game against Anders. Never a nice welcome, is it, to the World Championships, if that's your first game. What else have we got to take a look at around the grounds? We can still see Hezes leading against PH. Neat has pulled another goal back in that game. That's added time now. 1 minute, there's been another goal in it. Virgil has just gone 4-2 up at the break. We'll check in with this one for a second, though. And Hezes is one of those players, Ryan. He's just a couple of wins away from...
He always is.
I mean, you forget how many times he's been in the latter stages of an E-Champions League as PH. He's stopped by Iker Casillas.
I rate Hezes very, very highly, and I think he's worked a lot with coaches to sort of refine his defensive capabilities and just the way he controls games, because going forward, there's not really many better. He scores goals at will.
I think this is the most I've ever seen him work with a coach. Of course, he signed with Ninjas in Pyjamas, who are again going for those club championship points.
You can tell the difference, though, because if you look at his gameplay now compared to even a year ago, year and a half, it's a drastic difference.
PH, can he angle up that finisher? That's what he's looking for, potentially. Jude Bellingham delays and tries to tease Hezes into a trap. There was an update in our featured game, and it's a 4th goal for Desada. 4-2. That's the standings as it looks right now. I mean, Ryan, on that top 8, give me 4 names you expect to be in that top 8 come Friday.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I think some of them are already in there.
Vital block. I'm going to go with Anders, Nasada, Manu. Brandon, you've got... I don't, honestly, I don't... It could go on. It could be... Emre. Even though he's lost his first game, I'm still backing Emre. Nicholas potentially, and I think there's so many names, it's really hard to call. I'm looking at the names right there, all 36. And even players with 0 points or 1 point, they could easily still get top 8.
I mean, chat, you tell us. You can see very clearly 12 players will be eliminated on Friday night here in Paris. 24 go through to the next stage. If you're in the top 16 or the top 8, your journey to lifting the newly named Diogo Jota FC Pro World Championship trophy becomes a little bit easier. By the way, chat, I can still see messages coming through. Mystery Nation. If you got any more guesses, bring them in. I don't think you can give us a clue, Ryan.
Do you want a clue? I'm worried I'd give it away.
Well, a big clue is they haven't got an icon on the Game This Nation. They haven't got a hero on the Game This Nation.
They've got representation here.
They've got 3 players here.
Yep.
And a big hint, 2 of their players actually won the French League One. So if you know where those players are from, that might help you on your way. Keep your guesses coming through on that Mystery Nation as Nasada. He's on his hunt for a 4th goal. Update there. Karim is back. Well, that's the player that we were just speaking about, the one the French League One. Now, Didi, what are you doing that far up the pitch? It's not France. That would have been a given if you had said France. It's not Belgium. Also, chat, let us know the predictions. Who do you think will become FC Pro World Champion this year? Will it be a new name on the trophy? Will Manu lift it for a 3rd time? Anders for a 2nd time? Will Nicholas win a World Championship for the 1st ever time? The debate will be going on across the next few days here in Paris. There's that finesse from Saka. It all became a little bit too trademark and a bit too obvious there in the final third, but he just about did enough, Danny Pitbull.
Yeah, he's on as well. Beautiful bit of play here.
Is there a pass? Luca Bacchio, no, there's a finesse. "4-4. Surprise, surprise, these two have just pulled the game back square again.
I think Nasada's frustrated there. Defensively, it looked all too easy there. Had a lot of opportunities to push forward and create that space for the through ball. However, down the other end, Nasada's getting into those offensive areas quite frequently. It's just about whether or not he's going to take the opportunity to score. This game, Hez is leading 2-1. This puts Hez on 6 points as it stands. Pietrzin on 0.
That table will keep an updating, by the way. We'll try and do our best to feed in the hard work of the admins and the team behind the scenes of that table that is going to continuously move to league phase. More updates from the other games. Virgil, 4. Neat, 3. Catcher, 6. Redlat, 1. Obrum, 2, and Samu Gamers with 3 as that one comes in. It's another Italian who's on the score sheet. Jesus pulling away from Pietrzin. Nasada will be happy as well, Ryan. He has just scored. 5-4 he leads now. This was a penalty from Redlac. That was live, we just saw that. Penalty back goal for him.
He's going to have to make a ridiculous comeback here to get anything from this game.
Well, the good thing is they do get the league phase is spread across 3 days, Ryan.
It is. It's not as, because as you said, it's split across three days. It's not as detrimental. If you do start slow, you're going to see players that will end today on 0 points or 1 point, maybe 2 points maximum, that will probably make it through. See the idea as well. Salmo couldn't get onto it. The pass wasn't accurate enough, and it allows Redlac to start an attack of his own.
Number 9 minute half, so it's going to be time for a couple of chances, but they have to be perfect attacks from the MLS champion this year. Just looking at the stats and the data, I mean, because of the ecosystem as such, obviously the E-Champions League and the EMLS don't merge, so he was one of the few players that qualified for the World Championships really early on to the season, but unfortunately couldn't quite. I mean, he hasn't really. It's one of those, you've qualified for the biggest tournament of the year, but you haven't got anything else to play.
Yeah, you're kind of just resorting to online tournaments and practice cups. But again, I mentioned it earlier, you can't replicate the intensity of a last chance qualifier or another domestic league that's later on in the game cycle. This was goal at number 4 for Hezes, 4-2 up against Pietrzyn. We'll jump back over to this Virgil Neat game with just over 10 minutes left to be played. It's an attack for Virgil, in on goal here.
Big chance. 5-3. They're in a pause, and we'll leave them to it for a second. Let's go somewhere else. What a game we might have on our screens, by the way. Levi Finn, Karim is back. I'm looking at 6-6 potentially. I can hear the game sound. Let's go to it now.
Very aggressive offside trapping here from Danny Pitbull. You see the replay of the goal. That did make it 5-3 for Virgil, and there was a goal, bottom left of your screen. Nasada, 7-4.
Well, let's leave them to it if we can. Karim is back against Levi Finn, maybe in the game. With 6-5, sorry, now it's 7 goals to 5. We'll join it live now. Chance for Karim, there's the ball roll, could he have had a shot? This was the 7th goal, right?
Yeah, lovely extra pass there, and Adam Wharton can put it into that top corner.
Back to this live now, 12 minutes left. You have just joined us, this is round 2 of the league stage of the FC Pro World Championships. We're only playing up to round 2 today, we're back tomorrow for round 3 and round 4. Karban, nicely done. Deserved the goal.
I think he had way more time than he thought in the box there.
Update there, Pietrzyn is trailing, but he's getting back into the game. Samu Gamer 4, Oberon 2. Dembele with the step over, still Dembele, Levi Finn. I mean, we talk about finesses, but sometimes just get your head down and
He done
the stick a few
he
times.
done that in his earlier game against Pietrzyn with those roulettes, and it's just the finish at the end of it that didn't work out. But a lovely bit of skill. And over to this Nasada game, Danny Pitbull's going to have to try and get a goal from this attack if he wants to take anything from this game. It's not going to work out. Nasada can start to slow the game down, you'd expect, but he's somebody that's always on the front foot, Brandon.
Kill it now. Kill the game now. Michael Elise. Okay.
I think that stunned you there. I'm looking at you. You didn't expect it to go in. 8-4. See Pietrzyn. Getting that pass across.
4-3. I don't know how he got it in, but he don't care. Hezes is a little bit more frustrated, and rightly so.
Bottom left there, Nasada, goal at number 9.
No. You've poked the bear, Ryan.
That puts him on 16 goals across 2 games.
9-4. I mean, he'll be gutted that he's not playing round 3 and round 4 now.
I think that's the hard part, again, from a player's perspective. When you're playing on full floor, you're hot, you kind of want to carry on going. To the way to get momentum, it's going to be very difficult. You'll be hoping you can kick-start day 2 the same way he left day 1, but an unbelievable amount of goals. Also, Brandon, there are some players that would have played in round 1 today that won't play again until round 6 of the day, which is...
How hard is that for those players?
I think people underestimate the difficulty of it.
Because that is realistically, what, 5 p.m. until You're going to be back on at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, Paris time.
So it's a long wait and you kind of don't know what to do in that time. But I guess the benefit is that you know your opponent, so you can just sort of go through their gameplay and try and dissect it, try and get a bit of information. But yeah, staying warm is probably the difficult thing.
First result in from this round 2, by the way. Virgil 5, Neat 3. So he's picked up 3 more points, the Italian. Playing in his second World Championship. We saw him again, of course, in 2024 when we were in Berlin. That's the only game that has concluded of this round. As I look around the matches, Samu Gamer, Oberon's got 10 minutes left. Samu Gamer is still winning. That Hezes 4-3 up against PH in. Potentially a comeback on the cards for Redlat, but I don't think there's enough time on the clock. He's only 6-4 down now in that game. And Nasada has just concluded his matchup. He's just scored 9 goals. This was goal number 8 against Danny Pitbull. And he scored 1 more after that. Danny Pitbull finds himself in a bit of a difficult position. This was the last goal. What a through ball again. Just a finesse. Easy as you like. Nasada's looks like he's gone into second gear, Ryan.
Yeah, and when he's in this flow state, it's impossible to stop. Levi Finn, 2 wins from 2. He sits pretty on 6 points. A 7-5 victory against Karim, who's having a tough day 1 as well.
Well, 3 games done. Make that 4 games. Full-time result. Catcher 6-4 against Redlat. He's back to the drawing board tomorrow to get it right. Only 2 games left. 10 minutes left on this one. And Oberon, Samu Gamer just 5 minutes in front of this. PH in. Kicking in that Tuzzy kit from right to left. Hezes, who got his ticket very early into the season to the FC Pro World Championships. Musiala! Piagas in! Ties us up at 4-4.
That's that finesse shot, though. You get those angles. Some players opt to overplay it, maybe turn a little bit more. But when you have the angle there with the finesse shot play style in this game, precision shooting, it is a very, very viable way to score, as Pietzin showed just there.
Talk me through it, Ryan. This was the...
Some people overplay, they'll maybe slow it down, look for someone, and maybe play a pass backwards. You don't need to. Almost another opportunity to score there from Pietzin. He's got the corner. Keeping at the edge of the box there, can't get enough contact on it.
5 minutes away. Are we in for a match winner here? I'm not sure if we can catch the closing stages. Bellingham with a chip. It was cheeky. Well, it's just about worked out for him. 5-4 up and he's straight back in the game. No time to hang about for the replay there.
Yes, this ain't hanging about. Noise Pietzin.
3 minutes left. All Hezes needs to do now is just slow it down, Ryan. Full-time result. We didn't get to see much of it, but Samu Gamer picks up 3 points over Oberon. 6-3 win. Or the pro player of Sassuolo, who goes through to the next round of the competition. Added time to follow now. Hezes, I don't think, will look to score again. He'll just be slowing down the game because these are a big 3 points in the overall complexion of this league phase.
Yeah, 1 minute added on as well, so we can go all the way back. And can just take seconds out. If he goes long as well, there won't be enough time, and he plays it across very calm and composed.
Game over. Hezes 5. PH 4. And that will wrap up the last match of action. Well, there we have it. That is part 1 of 3 of round 2 concluded. When we're back from this, the games continue. Still 2 more rounds to come from day 1 of the FC Pro World Championship, and the action continues after this.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Qiddiya City, powered by play.
We were there for every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind, and we're here. Now, the proud founding partner of EWC, powering the biggest event in gaming, shoulder to shoulder with the world's best, making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion, reach your impossible.
Welcome over to the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet, where we have some MLBB this week. A couple of heavy hitters coming through, especially for the Club Championship points. So, Lafell, could you let me know what's going on over here?
Well, so first of all, we've done with our first day. Everything has gone smooth so far. In terms of Club Championship, we're looking at teams like Falcon, Vitality, as well as Team Liquid. Team Liquid didn't play today, but last year they were the champions for MLBB, and I see no reason why they can't be back-to-back champions.
That is actually really interesting to hear because, of course, Falcons, Vitality, Liquid are the heavy hitters when it comes to that Club Championship points. Liquid was second last year in the Club Championship points overall. So are you putting your prediction this year on Liquid to win again, or do you think there is maybe another team that can take this?
Honestly, if we're looking at how things are going right now, especially hearing the rumors of scrims, it looks like for now, Team Vitality is the strongest team out of all the teams. I personally feel like Team Liquid will take it again, but I will not be surprised if somehow Vitality is able to take them out.
Well, Vitality has done well last week as well for MLBB's women's tournament, so we'll see whether or not they'll be able to carry that one over to here. That's it from us. We're going to keep you updated for Club Championship point throughout the entirety of VAFC, so stick around.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back in. We just witnessed an epic round, and here we have two more breakdowns from our analysts. Let's talk about what you just witnessed. And first off, surprises.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I mean, surprised in the sense of where Oberon is right now. He's on 0 points. He lost his game against Samu Gamer. Samu's been in fantastic forms throughout the tournament. He's now 2 wins out of 2. And then, of course, Redlac as well. He lost his game, which sets up, I mean, I don't want to look too far ahead, a game between two players who are on 0 points. Redlac faces Oberon in the next round of fixtures, Shells. Massive, massive game for both.
Shells, let's take a look here at the results and walk me through the big surprises other than Oberon sitting at 0. What else do you see?
Yeah, I think Oberon being at 0 points is the biggest surprise. But in terms of results so far, I think Karim is back being on 0 points, losing to Levy Finn there. Levy Finn is looking so strong and on the ball. He has a little source going forward. So I think Levy Finn can be a little bit of a problem for other people. I think Virgil beating Neat 5-3. I think that's a big result for Virgil.
Big result. How about Hezers with his second win of the day?
Yeah, Hezers, I mean, that game went right down to the wire. It was 4-all. We saw so much emotion from P8 and rightly so, getting that late equalizer. But as always in FC, you have to play until the last whistle. We're going to see so many late goals. We've seen another one from Hezers. He's on fire, mate. And you know what? The season that he's had, this could be an interesting one for Hezes. I'm backing him to get that top 8, you know.
Now, gentlemen, in the top left corner, you told me to keep eyes on Danny Pitbull. He is now sitting on 0 points and seemed like Nasada was able to take care of business. I'm told we got to hear from the winner live. Let's send it to the stage with Case.
Yes, I'm pleased to be joined with Nasada, who just had a great match up against Danny Pitbull. That was a rematch from the FC Pro Open in the quarterfinals, which didn't go your way that time, but it was a different story this time, wasn't it?
And the FC Pro Open, I lost to him in the quarterfinals, and now I won. I just want my revenge, and that's okay.
You got revenge. We absolutely love to see it. And you were 2 for 2, 6 points. Your first match was up against Virgil. You said that one was a bit tougher as well, right?
Yeah, against Virgil is always really tough because he's a really, really good defender. And I think he's just like in a really, really good form. Even like in the preparation, he was really, really good. And yeah, it was really tough, but in the end, I won.
Well, you had a perfect day today, 6 points. Is that top 8 selection on your mind? Obviously, that's the goal, to get top 8 because that gets you in a better position. Is that on your mind, or is just one game at a time?
I just want to win all games, that's it. Like every game I play, I want to win. But in the end, I see like in which position I am.
Another player that you're going to have to go through next match is Levi Finn tomorrow. So how are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, obviously, Levi Finn is one of the best players in the world. And I'm good friends with him, so it will be like a tough thing, but I hope I win, that's it.
It's bittersweet. How do you go against a friend? Because obviously it's tough if you win, it's tough if you lose.
Yeah, exactly. If I lose, I would feel bad, but in the same time, I would say, okay, nice, Levi Finn is through the group stage. But yeah, if I win, I will be sad that he lost the game, but that's it.
All right, Nasada, job well done today. You have everything to go for tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow, and we're going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Case. And that Nasada guy seems pretty nice. Should we invite him out for some couscous tonight?
Listen, I think he'll be concentrated. He's a focused man, isn't he? He's on fire. And every time I see him, he seems to be super, super confident. And it's showing in his gameplay as well, Shells. I mean, virtual V-Bundesliga champion, of course. He's wanting to win more and more. I think we're going to see him win quite a bit in this scene.
Listen, I think Nasada's here to stay for a very long time. Ever since I came across him in a practice last year, I'll keep on saying it. He literally put me in retirement. And you can see Danny Pitbull starting off 1-0 down against Nasada. Just going forward, he doesn't seem the way we can slow him down. You can see Danny Pitbull equalizing there, a bit fortunate. You can see the reaction from Nasada. That's one thing I love about him. Every goal that he concedes or score, you do see a little reaction from him.
Yeah, we do. He loves the low drivens as well. Nasada does. In terms of Danny Pitbull, he's got some interesting fixtures, but we'll move on to this one. Hezes, it went right down to the wire. P8's in against Hezes, and it was Hezes who comes out on top. 6 points for him. He's on fire. He's had a great day and a great start to the FC Pro World Championships.
Yeah, I think there was a good bounce back from PH, and even though he did lose the game, I think it was a good confidence boost to have a good decent little fight against Hezes. But Hezes just showing his class, showing his momentum that is carrying throughout the whole season, and he's putting on a clinic at this moment, and he managed to get a win against PH.
Are all of Hezes' games that close? Are they always decided by one goal?
No, I would like to say he just makes sure he gets the job done. He does score a lot of goals. Sometimes he can increase the gap, but I think he's just slowly starting to get into the tournament as we go into this game against Levi Finn.
I was going to say,
his back.
Levi was popping off.
Levi Finn on the ball, he has a little sauce. He's so hard to defend against. And this Italian affair between Obran and Sabu Gamer, the old against the young, if you want to say. Sabu Gamer, though, he's looking to take the throne, not only in Italy, but in the World Championships.
Yeah, he's been fantastic so far. It's been his day, 6-3 win against Oberon. A bit of a surprise when you look at Oberon. We mentioned he's up against Redlac in his next round of fixtures. That is a massive game, not just for Oberon, but also for Redlac too, because both players are currently on 0 points. Neat, we spoke about him so much. He came through the play-ins. He beat Tex on penalties. I mean, what a result that is for Virgil.
Yeah, I thought Neat winning his first game in the round and coming through the play-ins, I thought he might be going on a bit of a heater, but Virgil, that's a great result for him. And going on to Redlac and Kasia. Redlac sitting on 0 points, and as you mentioned, we've got Oberon next. Big round for them both. If they want to try and make it through the knockout stage, one of them has to come out with a win here.
Yeah, I mean, that point probably won't help either of them. 3 rounds of fixtures, that'll be, and it'll be 1 point after 3 games. Not really where you want to be. Shells, at what point do you reckon these players will be looking just to solely get in that 24? Because, I mean, top 8 at the minute is looking like there's going to be quite high scoring to get into that.
I would say probably from round 3, round 4, this is when you really need to start.
You
getting
start
through
panicking
Ws.
at the end of tomorrow
Yeah,
night.
tomorrow night you'll be sitting at home in your hotel room thinking, what do I need to do? But of course, they got still one game each round and they got to focus what's in front of them.
Perfect day for Levy Finn, Hezer, Zasada, and Samu Gamer. Who else is going to finish with 6 points in your eyes, FG?
Probably Anders Vergang, to be honest. That's probably
easy
the
bet.
safe one. Milker put himself in a fantastic position, the lowest ranked player in the tournament. He won his first game, did really well. I'm looking down though in 34th spot at Danny Pitbull. Interestingly enough, he's got some interesting fixtures. He's got Cassia next. He also has to play Anders Vergang, Cristobal, and Jafonso. I mean, that is a tough league stage for him, and he's not in a great position right now. I mean, look, we're looking at that top 24. We're seeing 23 and 24 at the minute on 0 points. That is not going to be the case, of course, because we've got so many rounds of fixtures still to go. Shells, any guesses as to who's going to miss out?
To be honest, I'm just looking at this big matchup between Banana and Jafonso. I think you can potentially see Banana on 6 points.
Yes.
Jafonso still on 0, and I think that's when you start to see the big gap. And that's as a player, when you see a gap like that, you start to build a pressure on each round as it goes on. So I think it's a big round for them both.
Is there any sympathy matchups here? Like, if I see a teammate of mine struggling, do I ever take my foot off the gas pedal, or are we going hard all the way till Sunday?
Oh, no. These players will want to get repetition and want to play their best FC on the biggest stage. We're here in Paris for a reason. It's a massive tournament, the World Championships. These players are not going to give any pity votes. They don't even do it in practice. They go full on in practice, these players. But these players, all of them, are born winners. So that teammate stuff doesn't really matter. If anything, probably a bit of extra motivation for him.
Speaking of motivation, if you didn't know, we have extra motivation be tuning in all day long. Shells, there's a little bit of a game going on in chat, and I feel like there's already a few correct answers. Is there a mystery region, mystery country going on? How can I win just by watching?
How can we got to try and guess the nation, or maybe guess the clues that we've been giving out, some famous food from that country, but I don't want to give it away. Am I allowed to give it away?
You can't give away the name.
Not the name. You can give hints. She can be a good guy for the people at home.
They have a special right back and they won the Champions
League. At one point, we're talking about players from Real Madrid who used to play for Manchester City, now doing really well.
Speaking of players,
Real Madrid,
I've got some notes up down below. The man in the middle, bottom center, MS Dasari, sitting on 0 points. Would love to finish with 3. Can you tell me about his opponent?
Yeah, Adida had a difficult start as well. So both players are sitting on 0 points. I think the thing is with MS Dasari, when you've been there and you've done that, I'd be backing him in that fixture. I'd be looking at that if I was MS Dasari, of course. He's such a legend within this scene. I'd be looking at it and thinking, I can get 3 points here. But on the flip side, Adida will be super motivated as well, because the interesting thing about the league stage is you want to get off the mark as quick as possible.
But as well, I think with Adida, he's looking at Dasari. I don't think the young kids really expect the old veterans that much. So I think Adida for himself, he's probably looking at he needs to get this win.
It looks like the stage is set. Our players are ready to go. Make some noise in the chat and keep your guesses coming. You could earn big as our casters take the show away.
You thought we were having a great day of FC26. You thought we were watching the best players. You thought everything was ready to go high up. I mean, in this round number 5, we're going to see probably the best match that we can see for the whole day, because we're going to see Nicholas matching up against Manu Bashir. We're going to see the Iceman matching up against the 2-time world champion of the world. Myself, Gravison, joined by Ryan Pessoa. Ryan, I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm excited for that game. Obviously, Manu, we know the story around him. Nicholas as well, he's qualified for pretty much every World Championship he's tried to qualify for. He just hasn't got across the line. He hasn't got his hands on that trophy yet. And the start he had today, that draw, the interview as well, with a lot of emotion negatively from him. Do you think having that time off to breathe a little bit could make a difference, Grav, or is he still... Because I think Nicholas, we call him the Iceman, but his head, it was hot on that interview. He was steaming.
Yeah, it was Demon Iceman, right?
Yeah.
It's tough because I feel like Nicholas on the World Championship, it seems like the day one is a hard one for him. I remember I was speaking with Brandon about this, how if we look at 2022, 2023, it seems like he suffers on that day one. But I do feel like, in my opinion, because of that, Manu is a favorite coming into this matchup, but you can never count the Iceman out. But that interview with Case after that game one, you could definitely see the emotions coming in from him.
Frustration. Obviously, some of the games are underway. We'll try and get into the action as soon as we can, but you can see the reflection there of Nicholas's glass. I believe that we are underway now. Nicholas up against Manu is one of our games. This will be the featured one. Nicholas with the analog sprint, which we love so much this year, earning a corner very early on.
Let's look this corner. It looks for the team press, which is being activated by Manu. Now Kevin De Bruyne is going to look for that cutback pass. He finds it. Vini Jr. with the low driven, saved by Casillas with the footwork. Chance for another corner. Bukayo Saka finds De Bruyne. Waiting for that team press, which is activated now. And he goes forward. Passing to Jude Bellingham. I thought it was going to cross into the back post.
I thought the double tap, maybe L1 double tap was going to happen back post. Some of the other games going on in this round. We've got Di Fernandez up against Marwan, Greece up against Abu Maka, RVP Legend up against Guga Faraz, MS Desare against Adida, and Alejan up against Chris De Boer, who also had a fantastic win against Paulo Neto in that opening set of games for him. It's very important for a lot of these players, though, considering if you're looking at it from the perspective of both MS Desare and Adida, 0 points. So they're in a position where if you're able to get 3 points from that, it'll be a massive way to end day one. So I was about to say day two. To go into day two. Got Manu on the attack here against Nicholas, utilizing that rapid play style.
I'm curious, Ryan, what do you think Saka is a must-have on the right wing?
Must-have is a bit of a... I wouldn't say must-have, but I think for me, if I was going to choose somebody, it would be Saka in right midfield. There are some options. We saw in the last chance qualifying the play-in, some people using Henry out of position, for example, or some other players. But I think what Saka offers and the play styles he has, he is lacking a certain passing play style, in my opinion, which I think is important. But other than that, he's very good. Very, very high press there from Nicholas. Can he punish Bashori? There goes for the low driven. Casillas responds with that footwork play style.
A chance for another corner, taking short. Saka is going to go for the finesse. Saved by Iker Casillas as well. You can see the frustration coming in from the Iceman because he knows he's wasting chances.
He's had quite a few in these opening 10 minutes, and you can start an attack here. You can see he's got a potential counter-attack on here. It's Kika, who very dangerous in these areas, has the finesse shot if he tries to cut inside for an angle, goes for the pass across, which was easily read there from Nicholas.
As we just see a replay coming in from Marwan, making it 1-0 in his game against Di Fernandez.
Big start from Marwan.
Yes, no celebration as well. He did have a first game against Karim, against Brice, which he thought he deserved more. It was a draw, 1 point.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wants to get a win. Because 4 points out of 6 possible is a great start with day one.
Especially for Di Fernandez as well. That game against Levy, I know he started off very, very well, and then Levy started to pull away from him and ended up winning that game 8-6. But Di Fernandez this season, I think he's been very, very good. I think it's the best I've seen him. I think in Spain he was incredible. In Champions League as well. And he's somebody that, once he gets going, is very hard to stop. But the difficult thing is, getting going in this format is a bit difficult, I would say, Grav, because it's only 2 games a day.
Yes. Even if he gets loose in this game and it's just 0 points, he could do it tomorrow and the day after, because he's one of those players that, as you mentioned, when he gets going, he scores goals.
Someone else,
RVP Legend.
literally, same as RVP Legend right there. 3-0 up in 20 minutes. He's somebody in the Champions League I backed to go the distance to get minimum top 8, and he let me down with my prediction. Because I know RVP Legend for years now. Watching the way he plays, he's sort of... Hold up for a second, that's a good block there. He's sort of like Masada in a way, with the way that they create chances, they score goals. But sometimes when the goals dry up, you see when you're in those 50-50 games, for example, Guga there. When Guga's in a 50-50 game, he can come out of that with a draw or win it. It keeps it close. With RVP Legend, I don't really see that. I feel like if he's normally sort of dominating up by quite a few goals, and then maybe the opponent can come back into the game, but yeah, he's a very, very difficult player to play when he's scoring that many goals.
And that's why I think for him, the game against Nicholas was massive for his confidence.
Agreed.
That's the kind of player that usually beats RBP comfortably. So getting a draw out of him must have been a confidence boost.
Speaking of confidence boost as well, the King of the Jungle equalizes against Adida. That is 2-2. We're jumping over back to this D. Fernandez-Marwan game live. And you can see on the right side of your screen some live updates from the other games going on. Brees against Abu Maka, that one there. We saw Abu Maka with that last-minute winner against Alihan, and Brees dropping the 3 points in that game against Marwan.
Oh, what a pass into Vicky Lopez to make it 1-1. I must say, even though the goal was great, I'm not a fan of Vicky Lopez.
Really?
Up top.
Who would
no
you,
rapid.
Who would, fair enough, especially I know you love the analog sprint.
Yes.
Having rapid plus with analog sprint is unbelievably effective. So who would you go for? Kika?
For me, it would be Kika, or if no Kika, it's a tough one. Maybe Thierry Henry up top. But
See, I said this as well, but then for some players, they want the more nimble one. You can see bottom of your left there, Marwan did end up responding straight away with Messi.
Even Musiala on top, I think is great.
Good. Musiala, Jude Bellingham on this game as well. No, not up top, I mean just in general. Are there any other names that you'd say for your team that if you were selecting your starting 11 are guarantees?
So for me, it would be probably Jude Bellingham on the midfield, Granit Xhaka as well on the midfield. I'm a big fan of Xhaka. And then I do like Mark Pubil, even though it's the team of the season and he shouldn't be that great. I feel like he's really good, same as Alihan, just cruising the game 5-1.
There we go, a goal in this game. We jump back over to it. An equaliser for Di Fernandez. Alihan again, another player. Very, very, very good. Saw him in the virtual Bundesliga. I thought he was potentially going to win it. He's a very strong player.
When he gets going, he seems to be unstoppable, really. As we just jump over to this Brees Abu Maka, just 13 minutes played. And we are seeing something that we will see throughout the whole tournament, which is Brees just comfortably building from the back.
In possession. Does not mind if the game... He doesn't mind if it can take 15 minutes to build an attack. And I think as a player, when you play against that play style, it is quite draining.
It is.
But then also, if he's able to switch it up and start attacks quickly, it sort of catches you off guard a little bit because you don't expect it. And last year, we saw how good he was, obviously, finishing runner-up. Deep bottom left of your screen, keep an eye out there as well. But this one, played across Calhanoglu with the finish for Nicholas.
I didn't mention him before, but how do you feel about Scott McTominay? Because he's one of the players that we will see during the whole week.
I think using him as, let's say, in a 4-5-1, one of the midfielders that you trigger a lot to get those late runs into the box, I think he's very, very good. You can't, I say you can't get better. There are very few that are better at that, especially when you factor in the low-driven play style he's got as well. You've got a lot of options to score with him, and he can just push off defenders. I think if you want to play, let's say, in a 4-4-2, which people don't really do, it's a great goal there from Adida, then I think there are better options. But as a 3 midfield, I think he's a very, very strong choice.
We jump back to the Brees against Abu Maka. I'm not sure if Abu Maka is comfortable with a 0-0 result after 20 minutes. And we see Guga Ferraz scoring the first goal of the game for him, 3-1.
But he needed a bit of confidence. Goes for the finesse there. Casillas manages to put it out for a corner. I had a conversation with Shells as well about Guga before this tournament. We were speaking just about players we think could go like a dark horse run. He was one of those names because in this format, draws are forgiving, especially early doors. You can get away with a draw. Guga Ferraz, we've seen throughout the seasons, he can keep himself in a game.
He does.
And when you can do that in a group stage where other players will be dropping points, there is a very realistic chance that he could get top 8.
Especially with the experience that he got in the ECL, which I think will play a massive factor in here as well.
Yeah, we're so close to getting through into that top 8. Take a look at the replay between Di Fernandez and Marwan. It was Di Fernandez who made it 3-2. And bottom left of your screen, we do have a breakthrough. Brees going 1-0 up against Abu Maka now.
I'm sure you know what I mean, Ryan, with this, because Brice is the typical French player that we used to face 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is the worst scenario possible. So it's 0-0 for 30 minutes. You're not just sniffing the ball, and you can see the goal. And it's 1-0 down.
Exactly. You can see all of the 6 games on your screen there, obviously at different periods. We're jumping over to this featured one, of course. Manu losing, but not for long. Finesse shot into that top corner. Salma, arguably one of the best players to have going forward. But quickly going on to that about Brice with the way he plays, I need to take a closer look. But during the play-ins, he was one of the very few that selected Benitez in attack. He had, I believe it was Benitez, Kika, Salma.
Okay.
And I think it was either Vicky Lopez or Pina. It was all of the Spanish Liga F forwards who are nimble on the ball. They can turn quickly. We saw Texi built his team around players that, obviously with Lemphy, they're faster off the ball, but they don't dribble as nimbly as, like, let's say, somebody that's controlled or explosive. So I wonder if that's the reason why he selected those 4 attackers.
Great defense coming in from Manu Bashar, as we see the replay coming in from the Di Fernandez against Marwan Lukebakio with the ball roll scoop turn to make it 4-2. And we jump back. Last kick of the first half. Yes, it's a finesse and it goes in. Manu Bashar making it 3-2. And it seems like the world champ is on the way.
That just feels like a very typical Team Liquid goal, because you see that from Levy, you see it from Emre and everybody else from Team Liquid, where they get the angle. They've got so many bodies around that player in possession. They can pass it short, they can do whatever, trigger a run, dink it for a knockdown, but then they ball roll to open the angle for the finesse. And it's like, you know, as a player, when you're defending it, it's a goal. Basically, you close your eyes because you know the mistake was done before that moment. Right there, finesse shot angle opens up the keeper. You're not going to get near it.
Not a chance.
You have to hope that a block somehow kicks in.
Oh, saved by Casillas.
Oh, word.
No.
What?
That's one of those goals in which, especially after losing the first game, and you can see this one, you had to be so strong mentally to keep on holding.
Better than me. I don't even want to see a replay production. How about that? Oh, Lord.
I'm sure Marwan thought goal is a goal. I want to ask you about the lengthy use on the wings, as we just see this block by Araujo. Are you a fan of the controlled, explosive, lengthy now in July? How do you feel like?
For me personally, I get why people use lengthy wingers, especially when you're triggering those runs and then you can play that through ball from anywhere. And for example, Lukebakio in this position here, he's not going to get caught, and he's got the play styles to score and the stats, so I get it. But for me personally, what I would prefer, I prefer more nimble attackers, unless it's on. I've got a bit of a bias towards Henry on the game, I don't think. But other than that, I would rather somebody more nimble on the wing. But I do get why players would opt for the taller players with lengthy on the wing. They see a save. 6-1. Alihan Lyon leads against Cristobal. Going on to that question of what is your preference when you're building a team? Do you factor in the lengthy a lot on the wings?
I would say I used to do it, but now I don't anymore. Because I feel like there is a lot of players right now who are controlled with 99 pace, which if you look for lengthy, you wouldn't have 99 dribbling, especially with the shoe attribute. So I feel like even though it's important, if I could use Salma, I would probably use her. I'll probably use one lengthy and then one controlled on the other side.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is a right answer to that. I just think it's preference.
I agree, 100%. Top left of your screen, you would have got a glimpse there. I think it was Manu who scored to make it 4-2 against Nicholas. There was a world where Nicholas could end day one with 1 point. This game, to our RVP legend, of course, did play against Nicholas in his opening game. He could be in a very strong position, 4 points from a possible 6 if he can see this out. Guga Ferraz, though, will not go down without a fight.
As we see the replay coming in, Manu was short. That makes it 4-2.
Yeah,
You were right, Ryan.
It's the offside trap grab.
It's one of those goals that Nico doesn't concede when he's playing well.
I was going to say that, yeah. Very uncharacteristic offside trap there from Nicholas. Oh. Do you know what it is? You can see from this corner and you just think, really, that's not the day. See the live update. So he was 4-3 up against the king of the jungle, MS Asari. I'd love to be able to jump into that live when we can. Holden after this attack.
RBP looking for a 5th goal now. It's going forward as we just see the replay. Salma Parayuelo to Bellingham to make it 5-2, and you can see the conversation between Nico and his coach Fer, because something's not going right at the moment.
Yep, exactly that. You can see the live standings there on the elbow and the results at the bottom of your screen. Nicholas 5-2 down against Manu. RBP Legend, of course, you can see on the screen 4-2 up. D Fernandez and Marwan 4-4. Adida up 4-3 against MS Asari. 1-1 between Brees and Abu Maka, and Alehan Lion 7-3.
Wow. Massive game from Alehan because he needed to win. I mean, he's not an experienced player. So for him, finishing day one with 0 points would be